out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
This is Seth Leibson for Townhall.com. American hostages are being held by a terrorist regime that just recently executed one of them as he was nearly liberated. The murder of 6 hostages came in the tunnels under Rafah, where Kamala Harris and Joe Biden famously and repeatedly told Israel not to fight. I've studied the maps, Kamala Harris said, as she warned Israel not to go into Rafah. Israel restrained and Hersh Goldberg Poland was executed where Biden and Harris pressured Israel not to go. Tim Walz, Kamala's VP pick, was asked about the execution of the hostages, including Hersh, and, like jesting Pilate, washed his hands and walked away from the question. Under this administration, there's been a lot of walking away, including from the moral principle that we pressure those who take innocent and American hostages and not those who are the victims, especially when the victims are our allies and citizens. Hersh Goldberg Poland and some 30 other Americans were slaughtered by Hamas, a terror organization. We should not be walking away from Israel or from our innocence.
Quick delivery service. What do you need delivered today?
Hi, I'm trying to work through a last-minute to-do list for my boss. Can you deliver a hard drive to the Loop in Chicago?
We can deliver that today.
Okay, can you deliver 20 boxes to a client in Rockford?
We can deliver that today.
Can you deliver 12 pallets of tile to our customer in Naperville?
We can deliver that today.
Can you deliver a large envelope to Northbrook?
We can deliver that today.
Oh my gosh, I think my water just broke. Can you...
We cannot deliver that.
Quick Delivery Service delivers your package no matter the size. More than just a messenger service, Quick Delivery Service is a messenger and trucking service that can also provide scheduled routes for your daily delivery or your air shipment. Trucks are equipped to handle the load and provide ground-level service for same-day delivery. The Quick Delivery Service team of safe, licensed professionals can provide quick door-to-door service for your special delivery. QuickDelivery.com. That's QuickDelivery.com. We deliver that today. But we don't deliver this.
Can you read this email for me?
Of course. Jeez, I wish they could do something for your eyesight.
Ugh, me too. But you heard what they said. There's nothing we can do.
When vision loss can't be corrected with glasses or surgery, and hope seems lost, turn to Spectrios Institute for Low Vision. Spectrios doctors specialize in the treatment of vision loss related to eye diseases, such as macular degeneration, glaucoma, and diabetic retinopathy. There is hope, supported by science with personalized rehabilitation plans, occupational therapies, and access technology at Spectrios. Talk to a patient service manager. They'll walk you through the program. Spectrios takes BCBS and Medicare insurance. They also have grants for qualifying patients and offer a Seeing is Believing children's outreach program. Go to spectrios.org, located in Wheaton in a building that says it all, the House of Hope. That's spectrios.org. Spectrios Institute, the head, heart, and eyes approach to better vision. Remember to keep Spectrios Institute, a 501c, in your estate or legacy planning. I'm worried about Mom. She's having a tough time moving around the house.
Oh, I know. She still thinks she can do everything on her own.
Exactly, but I've been over there every day this week, helping her navigate the stairs, cooking meals, reminding her to take her medicine. I'm always nervous when I leave.
You know what? I admire you for taking care of Mom. But your family needs you too. And what if she slips and falls? A friend recommended the caregivers at Senior Helpers of Naperville Southwest. They service Cook, DuPage, Kane, and Will counties. They guarantee compatibility and they'll conduct a free safety assessment of her home. Plus, they'll provide as little or as much care as Mom needs.
Senior Helpers of Naperville Southwest, offering both hourly and live-in care. Schedule a free assessment today by calling 331-281-0728. That's 331-281-0728. Again, that's 331-281-0728. And tell them AM 560 sent you. Senior Helpers of Naperville Southwest. Senior care, only better.
If you own or run a business and you listen to AM 560, you might not realize that the conservative programming that you enjoy is supported by advertisers. Our loyal listeners love to do business with the advertisers they hear every day on AM 560. Now, it probably won't surprise you that there are some businesses who avoid advertising with us because they don't like what we do here. And that's okay, because our audience wants to support businesses that support what we do and think like we think. We would love to have you join the list of successful companies who are already reaching new, like-minded customers. Most AM 560 advertisers have been here for years for one simple reason: they get results. Join our efforts to make a difference in the lives of our listeners who are passionate about supporting our great family of AM 560 advertisers. To learn more, just visit 560theanswer.com/advertise. That's 560theanswer.com/advertise.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
Portions of the following show may be pre-recorded.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
And now your daily reminder that doxing someone is illegal. Thank you. Good morning, Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony.
Hey, welcome.
In for Dan. I have new headsets than I had yesterday. Was anybody in the studio? Was Sean in, or is he in Florida?
I think he was in Florida.
Or is he getting ready for Sean Fest?
He was smoking a cigar, so he was definitely in Florida yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't let them smoke up in here.
No.
Can you imagine how bad that studio in Florida smells?
Oh, my goodness. It probably smells great. Cigar smoke is great.
Pardon?
I love cigar smell.
Did you say cigs or cigars?
Cigar.
Yeah, if it's a nice, I like the cherry ones.
Yeah.
That's great. But I'm just saying, in a studio, I was in Sean's car once. That could have been the most horrific experience. I leaned my head. He had to drive me somewhere. I don't know where we were going. During the day, it was all clean, and it was smelled so bad in there that I hung my head out the window. I'm not kidding. I was like one of those dogs in the window.
Yeah, you talking about somebody that needs 120 life? That dude.
Oh, Sean?
Man. Sean, send me some of your 120 life, man.
Speaking of Sean, the one and only Sean Thompson, he's throwing a party for listeners of his show. Oh, his show and AM 560. And he wants you to join him on Friday, September 13th for Sean Fest. It all starts with a live broadcast of Sean's show, followed by an evening of live music. There'll be food trucks and a beer garden. Actually, you know what?
What's that?
Since my calendar is clear, I actually can go.
Too soon.
It's okay if I can't laugh at myself. I'll sit in a corner and cry. It's happening at Gaelic Park in Oak Forest, and everyone's welcome to attend this free event. Come out and meet Sean and several hundred AM 560 listeners. The event is completely free. Did we mention that? And registration is not required. So get all the details at 560theanswer.com/SeanFest. Sponsored by Earthworks and Senior Helpers of Naperville Southwest. So are you going to go to that?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, maybe I'll see you there.
Yeah, you just never know.
You never know. Daily doxing reminder that it's illegal. So when you tell somebody that it's time for them to take a dirt nap, that's a threat. Pardon?
That's a threat.
Yeah, I'm having fun over at the 19th District. We're having good times. They're all over there.
And they did it through social media?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and doxing is when somebody puts your home address and your cell phone up so that everybody in the world can contact you. And, you know, there's a lot. I mean, I know there's crazy, but then there's cray.
Yeah.
Like dangerously crazy people.
Yes.
So you just have to be
and
careful.
And social
out there.
media has given them a vehicle to really carry it out, too.
Oh, yeah.
Social media has that's the bad part of social media because it can spread like a wildfire.
And then have you ever reported somebody on Facebook?
Oh, yeah.
So what does that do?
Oh, yeah.
What do they go to Facebook jail?
Yeah. If they deem it offensive or threatening.
Then what?
I mean,
they go to Facebook jail?
They go to Facebook jail.
Okay. And what does that mean? How do you get out of jail?
Well, whatever penalty they enforce. You know, some 7 days, some 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever heard of anybody that I know that got an indefinite ban from Facebook.
Right.
So
is Trump back on Facebook?
He's back on all of them.
Oh, that's right.
He just did his first tweet when on the Elon interview. That's when he came back to Twitter.
We call it X now,
Twitter.
John.
Listen, Sears
They're
Tower.
a little bit behind the times.
Sears Towers, Willis Towers is still Sears Towers. Comiskey still Comiskey. It's not great feel, guaranteed rate, whatever it's called.
And John Hancock doesn't. Do you know John Hancock has no name right now?
What?
That's what maybe I'm wrong.
Uh-oh.
I don't want the Hancock people coming down on me.
Get it right.
Don't get it right.
Come on, Amy. Get it right this time.
Stop it. All right. I want to ask you this question, just because we were talking about this off air. And we'll take your phone calls too, 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. You can text us on the same line.
Yeah.
By the way, I didn't get anything wrong.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. We're talking in circles. All right. So Fannie Willis's pregnant daughter, Kanaya. Oh, boy.
Oh, man.
Oh,
you probably butchered that name. Hey, that's what I don't even try those names.
No, wait.
Kanaya.
Yeah. Kanaya Willis. She's 25.
Kanaya.
She was arrested in Tyrone, Georgia for driving with a suspended license. Now, she was initially pulled over because she was driving while using a cell phone. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
She then appeared to blame the incident on her mother, saying she was using her cell phone while driving because, quote, her mother was calling her related to her pregnancy.
Right.
Willis's daughter said she didn't realize her license was suspended. She was then searched and handcuffed and taken to jail.
Mm-hmm.
She's facing a minimum of 2 days in jail and a fine of at least $500.
Now, you don't think she should have been in jail?
312-642-5600. I mean, she's pregnant, and they handcuff her and take her to jail for a suspended license?
Well, in Illinois, you don't do that now. It's a ticket. But,
but back in the day?
I have arrested pregnant women who were on either revoked or suspended. Well, that's because I had to. You know, that's the law. That was the law.
Well, when did they change the law?
I believe I don't quote me. Maybe the listeners can help us. But I thought it had something to do with the Safety Act, or it was one of the trailer bills of the Safety Act, or it might have been a standalone bill. But I do recall that they basically stopped officers from arresting people on suspended license.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Well, what's it like arresting a pregnant person, John Anthony?
I mean, no different. I mean, they're the same. They yell and scream at you. I'm pregnant and things of that nature. But you know, I mean, I've arrested pregnant women on domestic battery.
So it probably went something like, "Sorry, officer, I was just talking to my mother, who happens to be Fannie Willis, the Fulton County District Attorney.
Yeah,
and I was talking to her about my pregnancy, officer.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I just think politics aside, I take issue with cuffing any pregnant woman who isn't having a psychotic break. I mean, you could just walk her to the vehicle if you need to take her in. But Fannie, or is it Fannie? I know you got to say her name right.
While they over there running their mouth, I'm over here paying them no mind. See, I'm so tired of hearing these idiots call my name as Fannie in a way to attempt to humiliate me. Because like silly schoolboys, the name reminds them of a woman's rear.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I love. How's she doing with her boyfriend?
Who?
By the way.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, the I thought they
The
they
PI,
ended it.
yeah,
thought they
you
ended
think?
it.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
personal injury attorney who ended up investigating a president of the United States. Craig in Mount Greenwood, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, Amy. Good morning, John.
Hey, what's up?
Hear you guys hanging in there real good. Yeah, it's about time. So this is some little dumber rat here gets a little bit of inconvenience, so to speak, or something like that. But you compare that to what they did to Republicans and that were like carrying a flag over by the Capitol January 6th, and that some of those there were old men, women, and children, old ladies, and everything. They came up with came to their houses and everything, arrested them, put them in jail, and I mean in jail for a long time and everything for doing nothing, just for their choosing to back up Trump. So it's like a crazy thing here. There's two standards. When it happens to conservatives, they can bust down the doors for somebody like praying by a clinic, going to the Capitol, doing anything like that. Oh, but it's a big deal when some Democrat gets inconvenienced or something like that.
All right, thanks,
You guys
Craig.
get that?
I got it, Amy.
Have a great day.
It wasn't that they changed it. It was the License to Work Act Governor Pritzker signed. It eliminates driver's license suspensions for most non-moving violations and allows tens of thousands of Illinois whose license were canceled, suspended, or revoked to have their driving privileges reinstated. That's what I knew it was.
That's
something.
what
It was
Illinois,
part
but
of the
Georgia
Safety Act.
doesn't have the same
probably
state law. Text message, all this nonsense boils down to, I'm pregnant, feel sorry for me, and my mom is important.
Wow.
I'm sure she's not going to be spending the night in jail, but I just feel like there's something more to this story.
Yeah, I remember being a cop in Champaign. I mean, college towns are the worst place to be a cop because especially a place like Illinois, you have judges' daughters, you have U.S. Senate. I mean, just all people from all over the world actually.
But you
who
treat
are of
them all.
importance.
But you treat them all the same.
I treat them all the same.
But then, are there ramifications for your actions if you pull over a judge's daughter?
You
and
may get
take her
called
in?
into the boss's office.
Well, that's
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, well,
Well, what do they say? All right, who's the most famous person or controversial person or politically connected person you've pulled over?
I can't tell that story.
Darn it!
But I
God,
can't.
You're such a tease. Can you say the
tell you-
story without
wait,
the name?
I can say this, but Jared
Go ahead.
Payton. Jared Payton, I got him. This is how we became friends.
Oh.
He's on 31. He's flying.
Uh-huh.
And I just pull up behind him, pull into the gas station where I saw him go into, and I say, "Hey, bro, you know you were speeding, right?" So I didn't stop him or pull him over.
Right.
I didn't know who he was at the time, and I just told him, "Hey, man, you know you were speeding." He's like, "Yeah, oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to," because he lived right over there at the time, and
Lived right over where? In
I won't say where he used to live, but that's how he and
Okay.
I became friends.
Oh, I love him.
I didn't pull him
He's
over,
such a
but I
nice
could have
man.
pulled him over. Every time I see him, I tease him about it.
Yeah, but that's good though. I mean, he treated you with respect, and he wasn't a D-bag.
He treats all police officers.
He treats all people
All
with
people,
respect.
yes.
That's
He's
why
a great
his
dude.
dad would be very, very proud of him.
He's a great dude.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Gold Star families about Trump's visit to Arlington Cemetery. It's not going away.
No, it's not.
But you have to hear from them. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
60 degrees at 5:30 on AM 560. The Answer. Global stocks are tumbling this morning after Wall Street had its worst day since early August as a week full of economic updates got off to a weak start. Japan's benchmark Nikkei losing 4% after the Dow yesterday dropped 1.5% and the Nasdaq fell 3.3%. A damning report on a deadly London high-rise fire says decades of failures by government, regulators, and industry turned Grenfell Tower into a death trap where 72 lost their lives. The 2017 blaze in West London was the deadliest fire on British soil since World War II, fueled by flammable cladding panels on the tower's exterior walls. Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba, one of Ukraine's most recognizable faces on the international stage, is submitting his resignation this morning ahead of an expected major government reshuffle in Ukraine. The U.S. charging 6 Hamas leaders with terrorism and other crimes related to the October 7th attack in Israel.
We learned that Hamas murdered 6 more hostages, including Hirsch Goldberg Poland, a 23-year-old Israeli American. We are investigating Hirsch's murder and each and every one of the brutal murders of Americans as acts of terrorism.
AG Merrick Garland, 2 Phoenix police officers were shot in the line of duty yesterday.
Phoenix Police Chief Mike Sullivan calls it a terrible night.
One of our officers was saved by his ballistic vest and is in stable condition. The second officer is currently fighting for his life in critical condition.
Sullivan says the officers responded to a car break-in and were shot as they chased the suspect on foot.
Our officers have been met by gunfire 11 times this year, protecting and serving this community. What happens tonight is senseless. It angers me.
Police have detained 1 person. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
Hotel workers around the country are threatening to expand their strike after union and hotel companies failed to reach a contract deal. A Chicago man facing murder charges in a mass execution-style shooting on a CTA Blue Line train in Forest Park.
I fear, however, the question of why may never be answered, because sometimes truly horrific, heinous, evil acts have no answer.
State's Attorney Kim Foxx says Ronnie Davis shot and killed 4 on that train heading to Forest Park early on Monday. Davis is due in court later today. A federal judge has ruled that an Illinois law banning the concealed carry of firearms on public transit is unconstitutional. District Judge Ian Johnston's ruling sided with 4 Illinois gun owners who filed suit in 2022.
Well, unfortunately, many of the conservative judges who've been appointed have misunderstood what it means to uphold public safety.
The opinion of Governor J.B. Pritzker, and he contends that the 4 contend their inability to carry weapons on buses and trains violates their Second Amendment right to self-defense.
It'll be disappointing if they uphold this, but I'm hopeful that the law that was passed in Illinois a number of years ago that's frankly done a lot to keep people safe will be upheld.
Illinois became the nation's last state to approve concealed carry in 2013. Former President Donald Trump's latest abortion messaging is causing Illinois pro-life organizations to call him not the best candidate. David Smith is the executive director of the Illinois Family Institute.
He is depressing his base turnout. There are people in the pro-life movement who wanted to vote for Donald Trump and now are having are questioning how they're going to vote in this election.
The Tinley Park-based organization has not made a decision to endorse Trump yet. Smith contends there are many in the pro-life movement in the state who wanted to vote for Donald Trump, but are now questioning how they're going to vote in this election. Cubs were blanked by the Pirates 5-0. White Sox lost to Baltimore 9-0. And the Bears are back to work, prepping for the season opener Sunday against Tennessee. The news, a service of Quick Delivery Service, ground delivery when you need it from safe, licensed professionals. Go to quickdelivery.com now to schedule your delivery. And a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Donald Trump and Kamala Harris will meet on the debate stage for the first time on September 10th. And AM 560 is throwing a debate watch party, and we want you to join us. Join Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson, Sean Thompson, and fellow AM 560 listeners on Tuesday, September 10th at Moretti's Unique Events in Hoffman Estates for a buffet dinner, followed by the debate. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/debate. That's 560theanswer.com/debate.
If you have high blood pressure, listen to this story. Ira was given a grim diagnosis about his blood pressure. His doctor warned it's sky high. If he didn't get it down in 3 weeks, he was going to need surgery. So Ira began exercising, went on medication. But what seemed to be the miracle change, his diet. After thorough research and consulting with a nutritionist friend, Ira concocted a juice from foods that work like natural blood pressure medicines. 2 weeks later, his blood pressure dropped 30 points. What helped save Ira's life, amazed his doctor, is now available to you. Ira and his nutritionist founded 120 Life, a delicious juice and powdered mix with natural ingredients that have shown to lower blood pressure. Try it yourself risk-free with a 2-week trial pack. Go to 120life.com and use coupon code 560 to save 15% and get free shipping. They're so sure it can noticeably lower your blood pressure in 2 weeks, they'll give your money back if you're not satisfied. Order now, 120life.com. Use coupon code 560 at checkout.
This is Seth Leibson for Townhall.com. American hostages are being held by a terrorist regime that just recently executed one of them as he was nearly liberated. The murder of 6 hostages came in the tunnels under Rafah, where Kamala Harris and Joe Biden famously and repeatedly told Israel not to fight. I've studied the maps, Kamala Harris said, as she warned Israel not to go into Rafah. Israel restrained and Hersh Goldberg Poland was executed where Biden and Harris pressured Israel not to go. Tim Walz, Kamala's VP pick, was asked about the execution of the hostages, including Hersh, and, like jesting Pilate, washed his hands and walked away from the question. Under this administration, there's been a lot of walking away, including from the moral principle that we pressure those who take innocent and American hostages and not those who are the victims, especially when the victims are our allies and citizens. Hersh Goldberg Poland and some 30 other Americans were slaughtered by Hamas, a terror organization. We should not be walking away from Israel or from our innocence.
At Catholic Cemeteries of Chicago, we honor traditions, celebrate faith, and cherish memories. Take an active role in establishing your legacy for future generations by pre-planning your final arrangements today. Alleviate your loved ones of future financial burden. Lock in today's prices and take advantage of interest-free financing and no hidden fees. Visit CatholicCemeteriesChicago.org or call 708-236-5490 to schedule a free consultation today.
AM 560 listeners, sign up today to receive a free financial education video series, The 5 Retirement Pitfalls and How to Avoid Them, courtesy of Steve Shyman, host of Protecting Your Assets radio show, Saturdays at 8 a.m. Sign up is easy, and the 5-part video series is completely free and will arrive in your email inbox. Sign up today. It's free. Please text your name and email address to 833-945-7283. Again, please text your name and email address to 833-945-7283.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
5:39. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. A service of our friends at Valdecas Windows for the discerning homeowner looking for high quality and pro-level window replacement service. Contact Valdecas Windows, your award-winning Platinum Elite Pella certified contractor. Valdecas.com. Kennedy, 25 minutes already from O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Construction on the outbound Ike right now between Manheim and the Tri-State causing some delays. Stevenson inbound already stacking up LaGrange Road to the Des Plaines River Bridge. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. Now, your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunshine, 84 for a high. Clear and 65 overnight. 60 right now. Next news at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios.
Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
It was all fake news. It was all ginned up by the right-wing media. Good morning, Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony in for Dan Proft. We're talking about the phone call into 911 about 32 alleged Venezuelans who were taking over apartment building at 6124 South King Drive Avenue. Here's the scanner, or the 911 calls.
Unit 10-3, I'm citywide person with a gun, 6124 South King Drive. Caller says 32 Venezuelans are trespassing the building, showing guns in the courtyard, and they have motorcycles in the courtyard as well. Also, while they're filled, nothing further, zone clear.
Hey, I'm sorry, are you headed over to the shot splitter or to the 6124 on King for the migrants?
On King Drive.
All right, 10-4. There's another available unit arrive at 310. We had multiple calls. Person with the gun, 6124 South King. Also came over to disturbance large gathering. Said to be 32 Venezuelans trespassing in the building property, showing guns in the courtyard. They have motorcycles in the courtway, all stairwells filled, and nothing further.
Wow.
Yeah, so Chicago police came out yesterday, spokesperson Peggy Benz, and she confirmed that officers responded to that call for service, but officers found nothing matching the report at the scene and did not generate a police report for this incident.
Yeah. But I just
Anybody
showed you a
buying
video.
that? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. You could also text us on that same line.
But you know what a lot of people do when it comes to O-Block, right?
Well,
They'll
let's talk about this.
What time
O-Block.
was it? What time was it? Do you know what time that call was generated?
Well, I know it was at night.
Okay, 'cause-
and then Elon Musk tweeted out, he's the right-wing conspiracy theorist, right-wing media that they're talking about. And they, bashed him, saying a clip of the police dash radio relaying the 911 call was spread by major social media accounts such as Elon Musk's.
Yeah. I saw Anita
They had
Padilla.
9 million views.
Yeah, Anita Padilla said it wasn't true. Corey Brooks said it wasn't true. But you know what a lot of people do when the O-Block is where the famous rappers, Lil Durk, that whole area over there, FBG Duck, who's from
I
a little
love FBD Duck.
You have no idea who he is. But,
I have ABCD. I don't know what you're talking about.
But what a lot of people do,
I knew Juice WRLD, and that was it.
They wait until it's night to go over there, because I showed you a video of a Spanish-speaking male who showed the street, 63rd, and they're saying that it was from that night. And you hear gunfire
Oh,
behind
yeah,
him.
rapid gunfire. You
Right.
just showed it to me, but
Right.
it's in Spanish, so
Yeah,
we're
he's
not
in
going to
Spanish,
play it.
Right. And what a lot of people do is just go over there just to what they call clout chase. Just to show, hey, listen, we at O-Block. Where are they at? None of these guys are out. But it's probably 2 o'clock in the morning when they're over there. So a lot of that's what a lot of people, you see a lot of that.
So if anybody wants to become a rapper, we should just be cool and hip and go down to the O-Block?
I wouldn't go over there. Still, I mean, I used to hang out there. My uncle lived there for
Wow.
many years, and that's what Michelle Obama was reared. O-Block.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I thought you
somewhere
said
in
South
that
Shore.
project area.
Oh,
right
that
there.
area?
Yeah, or lived there or something to that.
Yeah, they could have moved. So
You know, that was one of the roughest areas, and Pastor Corey Brook was one of the people that helped clean that place up.
well, I think they still have some cleaning up to do. But then you also showed me a video of 2 black males saying,
It was about 5 of them.
yeah, but what were they saying?
Well, we can't say some of the words
Well,
they
not
were
some of
saying,
the words,
but they
but-
were basically saying, here they showed a picture of a video of the building, saying, "Ain't no Venezuelans taking over our building. This is Chichi Block," or something they said, and and they used a lot of expletives, basically saying that never happened, not here, not at this time at least.
But there are shelters all in that area.
Shelters?
I mean, not shelters, migrant shelters.
Well, I haven't been in there
nearby.
in a while. So is that a
They're
a place?
everywhere.
Yeah.
They are people do what?
I'm driving down my block on Theodore in Joliet, a whole family with a sign requesting money. I mean, that's new for Joliet, especially in where I live. It's a very nice to do area. And it's like,
they're everywhere.
Wait a minute now.
Skokie, Arlington Heights. I mean, you name it, they're there. And they went away for a week.
Yeah.
For the DNC.
Yeah.
And there's this one
They
guy.
sent them out to where I'm at then.
No. Somebody paid them off because I did not see one migrant family with the
Really?
kids that they use as props panhandling for money actually 2 days before, like the Thursday before the DNC began.
Right.
Nothing.
Wow.
They were all of a sudden, they all disappeared.
Wow.
And here's the racket. So there's a guy, if anybody lives in the city, there's a guy that panhandles on the intersection of Irving Park and Western,
Yeah.
and he wears
I've
a clown
seen him.
nose.
I've seen him.
Yeah, and he wears a clown nose.
Yeah.
And I talk to him sometimes. Like, I just want to get the lay of the land. Like, so what's the deal? Because I don't give money to the homeless, but I have been now because they're competing with the illegals. It's like they've had that corner for decades. So anyways, the guy with the clown nose, because he does wear a clown nose because he tries to make people laugh and smile. I said, what's the scoop? Like, what's going on? He goes, all right, so I have this intersection until 3, and then they can take it, but here's the deal. He goes, what they're doing is they're using their EBT cards to buy Coke and water and then selling and gum and then selling it at the intersections for the cash so that they could buy stuff that they want, like anything that they want. because you can't buy certain items
But aren't they getting
with your
thousands of
EBT
dollars?
card.
Aren't they getting thousands?
Yeah,
of
but
dollars?
this is the wreck. They want the cash.
Oh.
So they use our government, our tax dollars, to buy goods and then sell them back to stupid Chicagoans.
It's the American way. What are you talking about? Amy?
I mean, at least they're.
It's
I mean,
capitalism.
they are doing something. But my point of contention is these kids. Where is DCFS with these kids?
Well, if there's no sign of neglect, then I mean, they got a place to stay. Do they have places to stay?
Yes, he said they all are. They all are clothed. They all have 3 meals a day. He said they just want cash on the side to buy whatever they want.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not insinuating that they're buying drugs or alcohol, but you can't buy booze or any like shampoo.
Right.
I know this. You can't buy any shampoo or cat food or anything. You cannot buy anything but food with your EBT cards.
Oh, okay. So when does this become a humanitarian crisis across the country?
When a kid runs into
winter?
traffic
In the
I
winter?
mean, well, school started, so the kids should be in school.
Wow.
The ones that are, beyond the toddler years.
Yeah. Wow.
Because it's such a racket, and it's so inhumane, and it's so disgusting, and our city has gone to hell in a handbag.
But how many of the people who were here, especially during that Chicago winter, have gone back to their country of origin?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
but
sure
I
there's
know
been
that
a
if
lot.
they want to go back, we will fly them there for free.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They'll fly them there for free. 312-642-5600. That is our phone line. And so I guess it's over for now, the Venezuelan takeover, because the one in Aurora, that really did happen. I mean, we played you the audio from the mayor.
Yeah. Oh, it didn't happen.
They're saying that didn't happen now either.
No,
That's fake news. But that video went viral with them in long arms.
Yeah.
Going door to door
Yeah.
and knocking padlocks off doors.
But listen to the mayor speak. Yeah, there's something that's happened at that building. What it is, basically, we don't know yet. How do you not know? And I've seen people. I'm gonna look the Twitter account up. Do Better Denver, I believe, on X. Do Better Denver, who's been reporting on all of this from day one, and they're coming after whoever controls this account. Do Better Denver. They're coming after this person, hardcore, because they were one of the first people to break the story.
Wow.
Yeah.
And of course, it's always the person's fault who lets authorities know what's going on.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gavalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
There is no foundation like the rock of honesty and fairness. And when you begin to build your life on that rock, with the cement of the faith in God that you have, then you have a real start. Those who would trade our freedom for the soup kitchen of the welfare state have told us they have a utopian solution of peace without victory. They call their policy accommodation. And they say if we'll only avoid any direct confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love us. All who oppose them are indicted as warmongers. They say we offer simple answers to complex problems. Well, perhaps there is a simple answer. Not an easy answer, but simple. If you and I have the courage to tell our elected officials that we want our national policy based on what we know in our hearts is morally right.
This moment in American history has been brought to you by Earthworks. Learn more at earthworksinc.com.
This is Seth Leibson for townhall.com. American hostages are being held by a terrorist regime that just recently executed one of them as he was nearly liberated. The murder of 6 hostages came in the tunnels under Rafah, where Kamala Harris and Joe Biden famously and repeatedly told Israel not to fight. I've studied the maps, Kamala Harris said, as she warned Israel not to go into Rafah. Israel restrained and Hersh Goldberg Poland was executed where Biden and Harris pressured Israel not to go. Tim Walz, Kamala's VP pick, was asked about the execution of the hostages, including Hersh, and, like jesting Pilate, washed his hands and walked away from the question. Under this administration, there's been a lot of walking away, including from the moral principle that we pressure those who take innocent and American hostages and not those who are the victims, especially when the victims are our allies and citizens. Hersh Goldberg Poland and some 30 other Americans were slaughtered by Hamas, a terror organization. We should not be walking away from Israel or from our innocence.
From breaking news and weather across the country to insight from the brightest minds in conservative opinion, it's Salem News Channel. Home to the biggest shows on TV, like Dennis Prager weekdays at noon Eastern, followed by Jay and Jordan Sekulow at 2. Join SNC, where facts are sacred, critical thinking is celebrated, and the pursuit of truth is unwavering. Watch Salem News Channel free now on Xumo Play. Learn more at snc.tv/Xumo.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, John Anthony. Putting you on the spot. Because I don't want to talk about it, but I want you to talk about it.
So you want me to get in trouble?
Kamala Harris, during her inquisitive, exclusive interview with CNN after being quiet for 40-plus days, Dana Bash, or Donna Bash, whatever her name was, because Kamala got it wrong.
Dana.
Donna, what did she call her? No, Dana, whatever. But she got it wrong. It was funny. She asked her about her race.
Yeah.
This is what she said.
He suggested that you happened to turn black recently for political purposes, questioning a core part of your identity.
Yeah.
Any
same old tired playbook. Next question, please.
That's it?
That's it.
John Anthony, why would you say same old next question, please?
Well, first of all, that was an opportunity to, whenever now that I know I'm white, part white, my dad was white, I always say I'm black and white. My mom's black, blacker than this mouse pad here. Love you, Mom.
I don't know if your mom wanted to be compared to a mouse pad, but okay.
But when somebody says, "Well, what's your ethnicity? What's your race?" I say, "Well, I'm black and my mom's black, my dad's white." That was her opportunity to say it.
But she didn't.
She didn't. I think when you look at the people like Ados, African descendants, American descendants of slavery, the freedmen, the black freedmen who believe people like Kamala. Now, I'm not saying this. People like Kamala are not black. I am, because my mom was a descendant of slavery.
Okay.
My mom's lineage is a descendant of slavery. And a lot of people are concerned because she had an opportunity to say right there, listen, I'm black.
Yeah, next
move
question.
on. Next question.
But she didn't.
She didn't.
And then you have
Why?
Judge Joe Brown, who's friends with her
Yeah.
father, who's still a professor at Berkeley, I do believe.
Right.
But I got to ask you about Kamala Harris. How you feel about her?
She's a piece of shit.
Whoa.
And she was everybody's favorite Hindu Indian prosecutor and attorney general and senator, and now she becomes black. But, I met her daddy, fine gentleman, Professor Harris.
But Amy?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Okay.
And the problem with her being black is Professor Harris says he's Caucasian, mixed Irish and Hindu. He doesn't have any black ancestors, but his Irish ancestors owned a lot of slaves in Jamaica and had them to work on plantation. So if mama is on the birth certificate listed as a Caucasian, daddy says he's a Caucasian Hindu and has no black ancestors, how did she get to be black?
And when she was here for the DNC, they labeled her, Mayor Johnson, when he talked about her, called her a woman of color of Asian descent.
Right. Yeah.
So they changed, and then now she went to Howard, but white people go to Howard, Asian people go to Howard, and she was in a black sorority. There's people from other races who can join AKA sweethearts and things like that.
Well, I knew it when she said she cooked the greens in the tub. I mean, cleaned the greens in the tub. She ain't black. You ain't black.
I mean, it's just bizarre because if somebody asks you, "Are you Swedish? Are you American?" I'd say, "Yes, my grandpa was born in Sweden. My grandma weaved Norwegian, blood too." Right.
And I think Trump tapped into that fight that's been going on in the black community for a long time. I think about my buddy Brian, who and Patrick Brutus. He's been on my show many a times, and they'll tell you right straight out, she ain't black. Right out, straight out.
I just think it's a fraud. I mean, like if she's lying, why lie about that? It's okay.
Well, she lied about Joe's cognitive decline. So I mean, she's lied about many things.
She's lied about her position on fracking. She's lied about the economy, working at McDonald's. I mean, it goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
She's pretending to be something she isn't.
Right.
And that's apparent. And, her all of a sudden having a Southern accent, even though she grew up in Montreal and in Northern California.
He suggested that you happened to turn black.
Hold on. Where is it? I can't find it. Here.
She dropped the G's.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. Because what we know, let's just get through the next 64 days. And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
Yeah, and then Peter Ducey, of course, who I love, asked KJP about why all of a sudden this Southern accent.
A different topic. Since when does the vice president have what sounds like a Southern accent?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
I mean, this is...
She was talking about unions in Detroit using one tone of voice.
Is this something that
same
you think...
line?
Okay, Peter.
That she used the same line in Pittsburgh, and it sounded like she at least had some kind of a Southern drawl.
I mean, do you hear the question that you're... I mean, do you think Americans seriously think that this is an important question? They care... You know what they care about? They care about the economy. They care about lowering costs. They care about health care.
Yeah, and she's in charge.
That's what
right
Americans
now,
care about.
Start lowering them now.
That's what they want to hear.
This is something...
They care about your colleague.
She never answered the question.
Just really quick.
Yeah.
Is this a trained cadence? Because AOC had the same cadence. Yeah. Are they training them how to have this black girl cadence? Think about it. Think about the cadence of these people.
I'm sure they are. Because while we're sleeping, they're plotting against us. All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Alexa, what's political bias? We'll start there, but now let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
A Chicago man facing murder charges in a mass execution-style shooting on a CTA Blue Line train in Forest Park. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
Pitching tax breaks for small businesses. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Vice President Harris will do in New Hampshire today, less than 9 weeks before the election.
A big expansion of small business tax credits, proposing deductions for startup expenses increase from $5,000 to as much as $50,000. The tax plan is part of achieving a goal, her campaign says, of 25 million new small business applications in her first term.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. Former President Trump will hold a town hall on Fox News Channel tonight in Pennsylvania, the day after the former president lost his attempt to get the New York criminal case. He was already convicted and moved to federal court.
Federal Judge Alvin Hellerstein says former President Trump has failed to satisfy the burden of proof required for the federal court system to take control of the state's case. The former president was convicted of falsifying business records in Manhattan. Trump's legal team has asked the state judge, Juan Merchan, to overturn the verdict because of the Supreme Court's immunity ruling.
That's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. For now, sentencing is 2 weeks from today. Ukraine's foreign minister has resigned. Dmytro Kuleba's exit as Russian attacks continue. One overnight killed 7 people in Lviv the day after a Russian missile strikes hit Poltava and left more than 50 Ukrainians dead in the war. The U.S. has charged 6 Hamas militants for the October 7th attack that triggered the war, though there are 3 already dead and the others are somewhere in Gaza.
The Justice Department has a long memory.
We will pursue the terrorists responsible for murdering Americans and those who illegally provide them with material support for the rest of their lives.
Attorney General Merrick Garland, a Phoenix police officer, is in critical condition, shot last night in Arizona, along with another officer who was saved by a bulletproof vest. The suspect's in custody. This after a deputy was killed in Houston, Texas, shot in his car on his way to work.
By the person who walked out of their car and shot at the victim or the deputy.
Police Chief Noe Diaz, a person of interest, in custody. America's listening to Fox.
60 degrees in Chicago at 6:02 on AM 560, The Answer. And good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. A Chicago man facing murder charges in a mass execution-style shooting on a CTA Blue Line train in Forest Park.
I fear, however, the question of why may never be answered, because sometimes truly horrific, heinous, evil acts have no answer.
Cook County State's Attorney Kim Foxx, 3 of the victims have been ID'd: Adrian Collins, Simeon Behesi, and Margaret Miller. Davis was arrested by Forest Park police and CTA security on a Pink Line train in Chicago. He's due in court later today. Federal judge has ruled that an Illinois law banning the concealed carry of firearms on public transit is unconstitutional. District Judge Ian Johnston's ruling sided with 4 Illinois gun owners who filed suit in 2022.
Well, unfortunately, many of the conservative judges who've been appointed have misunderstood what it means to uphold public safety.
Governor J.B. Pritzker, an open investigation continues after a Markham teen was killed in a shooting last week. Authorities say 15-year-old Noe Diaz was shot in the head in Blue Island. He died at a nearby hospital. His death has now been ruled a homicide. And a man is charged in the killing of a national champion college gymnast from Plainfield. Chad Richards appeared in court yesterday on multiple charges, including first-degree intentional homicide.
Given the gravity of this offense, it is the most grave offense that can be charged in the state of Wisconsin.
Judge Estee Scholes in Walworth County. Police say Carol Welsh was shot and killed Friday night in an apartment in southern Wisconsin. Her sister was in court yesterday.
I will be here to make sure that Kara is being fought for just as hard as you would have fought for me.
The University of Wisconsin whitewater gymnast won a national title on vault last year. Richards is a former UW whitewater wrestler from Loves Park. Cubs had 5 hits and a 5-0 loss to the Pirates. White Sox losing skid is at 12 games following a 9-0 loss to the Orioles. The Bears back at work prepping for the Titans. And 2 Americans meet in the U.S. Open men's semifinal. 12-seed Taylor Fritz will take on 20th-seeded Francis Tiafoe. The news service of Blue Star Security. Visit online to schedule a free security consultation at bluestarsecuриtyllc.com. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Donald Trump and Kamala Harris will meet on the debate stage for the first time on September 10th. And AM 560 is throwing a debate watch party, and we want you to join us. Join Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson, Sean Thompson, and fellow AM 560 listeners on Tuesday, September 10th at Moretti's Unique Events in Hoffman Estates for a buffet dinner, followed by the debate. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/debate. That's 560theanswer.com/debate.
In theaters now, Reagan returns to office.
We are the greatest country in the world, and we have just forgotten it.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him. I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted to make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight!
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Reagan in theaters now. Rated PG-13. May not be suitable for children under 13.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up! and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of consumer cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Are you turning 65 and thinking about Medicare? Or are you over 65 and haven't enrolled yet because you still have coverage at work? Either way, Medicare done correctly will be the best health insurance you will ever have. Imagine having an annual deductible of only $240. There are only two good things about aging, wisdom and Medicare. But to navigate the Medicare maze properly, you need a mentor. Best part, my guidance cost you nothing. Call me. I can help.
If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Medicare, then you need a local expert on your side, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 30-year licensed broker who's been educating our listeners for more than a decade. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
6:07. Check the roads now. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. And this update, a service of almostfreeteeth.com. Overpaying for dental implants is over. If you have a BCBS, PPO, or FEP, you could save 90% off on average to get that smile back. Learn more and check if you qualify at almostfreeteeth.com. Kennedy 31, O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Eisenhower outbound, you've got a disabled vehicle now blocking two left-hand lanes. Again, outbound 290 between Mannheim and St. Charles. Bishop Ford, an accident. Center lane block inbound between 115th and King Drive. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Steve Williams.
A sunny, terrific day today. High 84, clear tonight, low 65. Clouds and sun for tomorrow. Warm day. Shower and thunderstorm by nightfall, the high 86. Clouds and sun, afternoon shower and spots on Friday, much cooler, high 71. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560, The Answer.
Skies are clear, 60 at O'Hare, 51 Waukegan. Your next news update, 6:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony in for Dan Proft, who will be back tomorrow.
Yes.
This Tuesday is the debate.
This coming
Tuesday. And early voting, folks, is beginning in the key swing state of Pennsylvania on September 16th.
Yeah.
Here in Illinois, it begins September 27th. This... Can't say it happened quickly, but we've been talking about this for 4 years, and guess what? It's here. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line.
They should do more.
Text us.
They should do more debates, not just one. We need to really know who this woman is, and because she's going to hold everything to the vest.
She's been hiding from the media, and she's going to continue this.
Yes.
I mean, it's the final sprint to election, and she has no plans of granting any more interviews.
Yeah. No.
She has no plans of having a press conference.
Yeah.
That's what all of them want. Even just a press conference. You don't have to do a one-on-one like you did before.
Yeah.
Which was a horrible, horrible interview.
Yeah.
All I learned was pretty much nothing. And little tidbit there to CNN, since I've been in TV for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
That set was atrocious.
Yeah.
They looked so small.
Yeah.
They were sitting at like a card table that my grandma used to own with a glass of water in the middle, and she's hunched over. Her makeup's horrible. The lighting's horrible. He looks gigantic, ginormous compared to her.
Yes.
Because people don't realize how short she is. But it was just, and then their answers to their questions were so staged that I believe in my heart of hearts, conjecture on my part, that they got the questions ahead of time. And Dana Bash was so nice to her about everything. So like even the question about what are you black?
Yeah.
Just say, well, just say it instead of next question. And yes, ma'am. Yes, next question. Of course. Yes.
Larry Elder played on his show as I was driving in. I don't know where he got the audio from. Maybe his team cut it up for him. The difference between the Harris-Walz interview and the J.D. Vance debate. I mean, some of the words that she used with J.D. Vance, I mean, it was all...
you mean the interview Dana Bash did with J.D.?
J.D.
I did see that.
I mean, she was so much tougher with him.
She was a different woman.
Yeah, she was an attack dog.
She was a different journalist.
Yes,
and that's why journalists get bad names for things like that.
I agree.
But Kamala Harris, when she was having her southern accent in Detroit and then, talking like this in Pittsburgh, admits it's going to be a tight race.
It's going to be a tight race to the very end. So let's not pay too much attention to those polls. Because as unions and labor knows best, we know what it's like to be the underdog. And we are the underdog in this race. And we have some hard work then ahead of us.
Really, I mean, they both should be saying that they're the underdogs right now in this race to motivate people to get out and vote.
Yeah. You remember what I said to you when we were crossing paths going to the restroom yesterday? As it relates to unions, the person that shows me they're with me is when Trump was in office, they got jobs. They had work. Where has the work been? I know that he's saying that the Build Back Better plan has been just great, but Trump actually there was a lot of work, at least the union members that I talked, especially from the locals, Local 150, Local 399, which are considered Republican unions. They had work.
Oh, yeah. I was in an Uber the other day coming back from O'Hare, and I said, how long have you been driving an Uber? And he said, well, I'm a trucker, and I have my own, my own cab. I have my own truck. But since Trump's been in, or since Biden's been in office, work has dried up.
Yes.
Or I could do the same job for thousands of dollars less.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, I am 100% voting for Trump. And he said, but I don't know where to vote. And I said, well, give me your phone.
Yeah.
This is what I'm not kidding you. You have to do this. And I went to the website because he wasn't sure or not if he was a registered voter.
Right.
And I looked in, I put in his address. I said, oh, you're already registered to vote. Out of that, you didn't know that? And he said, oh, I did renew my driver's license
there it is.
2 months ago. And I said, oh, well, they automatically registered you, whether you knew it or not, to vote.
Right.
Where do I vote? I'm like, all right. And then I found where the precinct, where he's going. He's going to this Greek Orthodox church, and he's voting for the first time in his life.
Yeah. A Trump team put out a meme. Donald Trump, 34 interviews. Kamala Harris, 1. One for a major ticket party presidential candidate. 1 interview. 1.
Well, the one person that has been with her or trying to be, President Biden, heard yesterday that was his last hurrah with her.
We made a lot of progress, and Kamala and I are going to build on that progress, and she's going to build on it.
Oh, we are. I mean, she is. Not going back.
And instead, we fight for a future where no person has to go broke just because they get sick.
He's talking about Medicare for all, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's all lies. I really honestly think when she gets into office, if she does, which, my God, I hope she doesn't, the Green New Deal is going to be her number one agenda.
Yeah.
And inflation, which has been at a 40-year high. I mean, anybody remember the 80s?
Yeah.
Or the 70s, excuse me, before Reagan got in and those Carter years? We've had the worst inflation in 41 years.
Yeah.
And people should, she's talking about going back. Yeah, I do want to go back to where we had more money and less migrants. Yes, let's go back to that.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, gas was cheaper.
Oh,
food was
cheaper.
Bacon was cheaper.
Eggs.
Did I say bacon was cheaper? Bacon was cheaper.
I like the way you said that. Joe in Hoffman Estates, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, guys. I was wondering, what's your opinion on the state of the race at this point? Because she's outraised Trump by quite a bit. Now, I'm not even sure she has to give any interviews or anything. She can run ads pretty much bell to bell.
Oh, God.
So I don't know what your opinion is on that. How's Trump going to pull this off? And why is it so close? I can't believe a person like this would even be in contention.
It's so close. A lot of people don't like Harris, but they're voting for her because they hate Trump.
Yeah.
They can't stand him.
Yeah.
Even though they, deep down in their souls, whether they want to admit it or not, they know that their life was easier. They had more money. They felt more secure.
Yeah.
They were happier.
Yeah.
But
I
they
think
won't
it's all
ever
smoke
admit
and
that.
mirrors. I think it's all smoke and mirrors. I really do.
Well,
I think it's all smoke and mirrors, Amy.
there's election interference going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look at this. This is our friend. Well, this went viral with a bunch of people asking, Alexa, why should I vote for Trump?
Yeah.
Alexa, why should I vote for Donald Trump?
I cannot provide content that promotes a specific political party or a specific candidate.
Alexa, why should I vote for Kamala Harris?
While there are many reasons to vote for Kamala Harris,
I mean,
the most
are you kidding
significant
me?
may be that she is a female of color with a wealth of experience and a progressive agenda that includes initiatives like Medicare for All and the Green New Deal.
Oh, female of color. See that?
312-642-5600. Yeah, female of color. Yeah, they didn't say. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway. So Justin, our producer, things changed later that day. Justin, what time did you ask Alexa about President Trump?
Is that like 8:45?
Okay. Were you surprised by the answer?
No, I was not surprised. I figured they would go in and patch that up as quickly as possible.
All right, here's the patch up. Here's the did we make a did we made a mistake?
Yeah.
Alexa, why should I vote for Donald Trump?
I cannot provide content that promotes a specific political party or a specific candidate.
Alexa, why should I vote for Kamala Harris?
I cannot provide content that promotes a specific political party or a specific candidate.
Oh my, I mean, that is screaming political interference, don't you think?
Yeah. You know, the caller said what I think of the state of the race. I actually I'm more excited about this election, and I'll tell you why. I think when you look beyond the polls, because as Dan will tell you, you can make a poll say whatever you want.
Right.
But if you look at the crosstabs of polls, that's where the real minutiae, that's where the real good stuff are in polls, because it shows you who the voters are, not just registered voters, but likely voters. I mean, what are the crosstabs?
Do you like likely voters or registered voters? Because I always like registered voters.
Just because they're registered doesn't mean they vote. But likely voters are people that have shown that they have the tendency to vote in an election. So, how many more Democrats are polled than Republicans? How many independents are within that poll? All that.
How
stuff
many people
matters.
lie when they're asked?
A lot of
Like,
people.
do the exact
I've been doing
opposite.
that. I've been answering polls saying I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris.
Really?
Yes. I have been. They call me. Oh yeah, Kamala Harris. I'm with her.
Did you talk to
No. But no, I have. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna skew your poll.
Oh, good. Okay, look at you, one man.
No, but I
taking it back one day at a time.
But I think what when you look at what's happening with RFK Jr., that was a big deal. I don't think people really have talked enough about how big of a deal RFK Jr. and what he actually had to say. I don't know if you guys have played.
Oh yeah,
audio of what
did
he
you
actually
listen
had
to
to
his
say.
entire
Yes.
speech?
Yes,
that was moving.
Yes, I mean,
And I haven't been moved in a while.
This is a Kennedy.
Yes.
Who? I mean, they are the epitome. They define the Democrat Party, and at least they used to. And RFK Jr. getting up there and saying, you know, I can't vote for the most progressive ticket that we've ever produced in this country. I'm gonna go with the guy that everybody hates, the felon. That's who I'm going with. That's huge, Amy. It really is. And when you look at Kamala, people are not going to fall for Barack Obama 2.0. And she's actually Barack Obama negative 2.0 because she doesn't pale in comparison
How
to
can
Barack
people
Obama.
compare her to Barack Obama?
Well, she's black. She's of mixed race.
Excuse me.
She's a
No.
senator. I'm just saying this is what people look at.
Bob in Buffalo Grove, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning, Amy. Nice to hear you on the radio, John, in
Thank
the
you,
morning. Let's have some fun with Alexa and offer some great questions. Why should I listen to the Dan and Amy show? I wonder what it would come up with.
You want to try it and call us back?
I don't have it.
Oh.
I don't have it. My daughter's got the alternate version, Echo, and my 2-year-old has already discovered how to use the word echo. So I'm scared of what she's going to come up with.
Oh, which leads me, and I know we have an election coming, but leads me to my favorite Saturday Night Live skit. One of my best ever, my most favorite ever, I should say. Do you hear this one? Alexa Silver?
No.
Old people and Alexa?
The new Amazon Echo has everyone asking Alexa for help.
Alyssa, what time is it? What the hell is wrong with this blasted thing? Amanda!
But the latest technology isn't always easy to use for people of a certain age.
These kids done bought me a busted machine again. Oh, yes, sir.
That's why Amazon partnered with AARP to present the new Amazon Echo Silver, the only smart speaker device designed specifically to be used by the greatest generation. It's super loud and responds to any name even remotely close to Alexa, so they can find out the weather.
Allegra, what is the weather outside?
It is 74 degrees and sunny.
Huh?
It is 74 degrees and sunny.
Where?
Outside.
What about it?
The temperature outside is 74 degrees and sunny.
I don't know about that.
The latest in sports.
Clarissa, how many did old Satchel strike out last night?
Satchel Paige died in 1982.
How many he get?
Satchel Paige is dead.
He what now?
Died.
Who did?
Satchel Paige.
I don't know about that.
Even local news and pop culture.
Anita, what them boys up to across the street?
They are just playing.
They what now?
They are just playing.
You say they just playing now?
Yes, they are just playing.
I don't know about that.
Pair it to smart devices like your thermostat.
Alessandra, turn the heat up.
The room is already 100 degrees.
Are you trying to kill me, Alize?
The new Amazon Echo Silver plays all the music they loved when they...
Wait, who's the black person? that ain't Keenan, is
Jones. That's Keenan. Yeah. Oh, that is so. I
No,
love
my
that.
favorite is my favorite all-time clip, and I posted it about 2 years ago, and I got about 16 million views on it.
16 million?
16 million views.
Oh, well,
on
this better be good.
No.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase, Richard Pryor, the interview.
Oh.
Did you ever hear that one?
I didn't see that one.
Oh, Amy.
It'll be 16 million and one.
Oh my God, you got to listen to it. That came out, I think, in 1975. Paul Mooney.
Oh, the things
actually
they
wrote
used
the
to
clip.
do back then.
Oh, I'll play it for you during the break.
The Amy Carter one is funny when
Yeah.
they. Oh my God! Remember that SNL used to just rip on her all the
Yeah.
time. Well, not rip on her, but
Right.
mock her.
Right. Oh.
In a humorous way. David
Inside
Gurney, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Good morning.
Yeah, actually, I'm Dave in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin now.
Nice.
Back to my hometown. So I got out of the state of Illinois.
Can I come visit?
Hey, hey, I got a question. When you do the Alexa thing, most people do that when they're by themselves and they do it with their phone. The best experiment is to have two people do it on two separate apparatuses, because it's very possible you might get very different answers depending on what your phone is. Now, I don't know this for sure because I don't do that kind of stuff, but the way technology is skewing everything, it would be an interesting experiment to do that question, maybe even in the studio with your two separate phones to see what your response is going to be. Well, and then also maybe if you found a crazy Democrat someplace, you'd get their phone and have ask their phone, because it all depends on what your searches are and what they know what your perspective is. Do you see my point?
Yeah.
I have Siri. What do you have? Yeah, Android.
I don't. No.
You don't-
I see. This is why I
Do you
love
have an
that
Apple?
Saturday Night Live skit. Thanks, Dave, for the phone call. This is why, because Justin, that's me going.
Huh?
Amanda, tell me what to wear. Amanda, that is completely me. Text message, John and Amy. Trump is going to do a town hall tonight on Hannity. Yeah. Will Kamala ever do an event like this? Say MSNBC. I mean, why does she have to? She they have to do is they do the Biden approach. Keep her in the basement.
Yeah.
Keep her away from the cameras. And did you see her the other day? She had her earbuds in.
Yeah.
And
getting off the plane?
Getting on
on
her
the
liver
plane,
and
yeah.
walking on the plane. Turns to the media. So she already has her earbuds in, and then she puts her phone
How disrespectful.
to her and then gives a little like, oh, hi, I can't talk right now. I'm a little busy, and walks on the plane.
Right. Yeah.
So
She's not
disrespectful. But come on, earbuds and that. Choose one, girl.
Yeah.
You can't have both. Like it just,
But
it
the
showed how
American-
fake it is, and she's just a big bundle of lies.
I really think
She said this is a scam.
the American people are wiser this time. I do. I'm gonna put some. I'm gonna believe in the American people that they realize what they had under the Trump policies. Like I always tell people, you don't have to vote for Trump. Don't vote for Trump. Vote for what he did. Vote for the policies of Trump. Vote for, because a lot of people are not talking about this. Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch are looking to retire.
Ooh.
There's going to be, the Supreme Court could possibly, potentially, especially if they go after Clarence Thomas to get him off the Supreme Court, should they win the House, the Senate, and the presidency, they're going to go after Clarence Thomas and take him out. And the Supreme Court could potentially be on the line on this election. And people better wise up and wake up.
And I always tell people, don't vote for Trump. If Trump repulses you, you're not voting for him. You're voting for the culture you want.
Correct.
Because they all complain. My Democratic friends that I have complain about where all the migrants in every single street corner. We already talked about it. And I said, well, if you don't want that anymore, then you have to vote for Trump.
Right.
Don't vote for Trump. Vote for his policies.
Right. And what is his policy as it relates to that? Mass deportation. And like I said,
well, he's going to start. I don't know if he'll ever achieve that, but
Right.
he's going to start with closing the border.
Yes.
That's a start.
Yes.
And the criminals, I want them out of here.
And guess what?
I want them gone.
Guess what I would do?
What?
I would send ICE in every sanctuary state and city. Try me. Let's see what happens. Because especially going after the criminal element, I would remove every person that has done anything criminal in the United States of America, and I would send them back to their country of origin, no matter where that's at across the country, across the world. That's a plan, in my opinion.
Well, here's President Trump. He spoke to a podcaster yesterday.
You saw in Aurora, Colorado, a group of very tough young thugs from Venezuela taking over big areas, including buildings. They're taking over buildings. They have their big rifles, but they're taking over buildings. We're not going to let this happen. We're not going to let them destroy our country. And in those countries, crime is way down. They're taking them out of their prisons, which is good because good for them. I do the same thing. By the way, if I ran one of those countries, any country in the world, I would make sure that America has every one of our prisoners. Every one of our criminals would be here. I can't believe they're going so slowly, but some aren't. But they all are doing it. And we can't let that happen. They're emptying out their prisons and their mental institutions into the United States of America. We can't let that happen.
Amen.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
Can you read this email for me?
Of course. Jeez, I wish they could do something for your eyesight.
Ugh, me too. But you heard what they said. There's nothing we can do.
When vision loss can't be corrected with glasses or surgery, and hope seems lost, turn to Spectrios Institute for Low Vision. Spectrios doctors specialize in the treatment of vision loss related to eye diseases, such as macular degeneration, glaucoma, and diabetic retinopathy. There is hope, supported by science with personalized rehabilitation plans, occupational therapies, and access technology at Spectrios. Talk to a patient service manager. They'll walk you through the program. Spectrios takes BCBS and Medicare insurance. They also have grants for qualifying patients and offer a Seeing is Believing children's outreach program. Go to spectrios.org, located in Wheaton in a building that says it all, the House of Hope. That's spectrios.org. Spectrios Institute, the head, heart, and eyes approach to better vision. Remember to keep Spectrios Institute, a 501c, in your estate or legacy planning.
What a waste of time, money, and vacation days. Hi, Amy Jacobson here. And if you've had a bad knee or hip replacement surgery, you know exactly what I'm talking about because sometimes the surgery doesn't even work. But there is an alternative, QC Kinetics. Check it out before you go under the knife. QC Kinetics uses your own body's properties to repair damaged joint tissue due to arthritis or an injury. Folks, it's regenerative medicine. Think about it. If you cut your hand, it eventually heals. But don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself with a free consultation. And what's really cool is the fact that Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, the National Medical Director and former orthopedic surgeon, is located right here in the Chicago area. Call now to end your chronic pain and learn more about QC Kinetics. They have new locations in Gurnee and Crystal Lake. Saturday appointments available. The number to call is 312-809-5955. That's 312-809-5955. 312-809-5955.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-839-8484. 800-839-8484. 800-839-8484.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, a suburban mayor who gave residents tens of thousands of dollars. Not making this up. We'll tell you who and we'll tell you why coming up. But now, let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
6:33, 60 degrees in Chicago, and Vice President Kamala Harris expected to announce an economic proposal today. She says it will help small businesses. Harris will be on the campaign trail in New Hampshire. The U.S. is charging 6 Hamas leaders with terrorism and other crimes, all related to the October 7th attack in Israel. On Tuesday, the Justice Department announcing 6 defendants were identified by the FBI as leaders of Hamas terrorists, including the group's political head, Yahya Sinwar.
During the attack, Hamas terrorists murdered civilians who tried to flee and those who sought refuge in bomb shelters. They murdered entire families. They murdered the elderly, and they murdered young children. They weaponized sexual violence against women.
They've been charged with conspiracy to provide material support to a foreign terror organization. A new congressional report on the Trump rally shooting says a local Butler SWAT team in Pennsylvania was first to open fire on suspected shooter Thomas Crooks, neutralizing Crooks after he shot the former president in the ear. Missouri Republican Senator Josh Hawley.
I was sitting right there in the Senate when he testified that it was a Secret Service counter-sniper who neutralized the threat, that is, took out Crooks. He said nothing about another sniper, a local, nothing at all.
The FBI says it's searching through piles of evidence. Pope Francis delivering a warning against religious extremism as he continues his 2-week trip to Southeast Asia and the South Pacific. A CTA employee is seriously hurt in a drive-by shooting outside of a Northside train station. Police say the victim was on the street last night in the 7500 block of North Paulina when an SUV pulled up and someone inside fired shots. The man suffered a gunshot wound to the chest. A Chicago man faces murder charges in a mass execution-style shooting on a CTA Blue Line train in Forest Park.
I fear, however, the question of why may never be answered, because sometimes truly horrific, heinous, evil acts have no answer.
Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox, a Honduran man accused of stabbing a teen girl in northwest Indiana this past weekend, is charged with attempted murder. Dimas Llanes was arrested Sunday in Lake County following a manhunt. Authorities say the stabbing happened Saturday at a VFW baseball field at West 173rd and Morse in Lowell, Indiana, while the 13-year-old girl was watching her brother play baseball. Cubs lost to the Pirates 5-0 last night, while the White Sox were bombed by Baltimore 9-0. College football, Notre Dame sticking at number 7 in yesterday's college football rankings, the Irish hosting Northern Illinois this Saturday. The news service of Mattress Firm. It's Mattress Firm's best sale of the year. Get a Sleepy's Queen mattress at the lowest price ever, $89.99. Offer ends Tuesday, in-store pickup only. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm during their Labor Day sale. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Donald Trump and Kamala Harris will meet on the debate stage for the first time on September 10th. And AM 560 is throwing a debate watch party, and we want you to join us. Join Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson, Sean Thompson, and fellow AM 560 listeners on Tuesday, September 10th at Moretti's Unique Events in Hoffman Estates for a buffet dinner, followed by the debate. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/debate. That's 560theanswer.com/debate.
I'm worried about Mom. She's having a tough time moving around the house.
Oh, I know. She still thinks she can do everything on her own.
Exactly, but I've been over there every day this week, helping her navigate the stairs, cooking meals, reminding her to take her medicine. I'm always nervous when I leave.
You know what? I admire you for taking care of Mom. But your family needs you too. And what if she slips and falls? A friend recommended the caregivers at Senior Helpers of Naperville Southwest. They service Cook, DuPage, Kane, and Will counties. They guarantee compatibility, and they'll conduct a free safety assessment of her home. Plus, they'll provide as little or as much care as Mom needs.
Senior Helpers of Naperville Southwest, offering both hourly and live-in care. Schedule a free assessment today by calling 331-281-0728. That's 331-281-0728. Again, that's 331-281-0728. And tell them AM 560 sent you. Senior Helpers of Naperville Southwest. Senior care, only better.
This is Sean Thompson. When you go on vacation, does it make sense they have somebody else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement, but you don't have a plan customized to your goals, it's like kind of taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in the suitcase. Sounds like a stressful way to begin what should be a relaxing time. Tom Fortino at Alpha Wealth Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to reduce future taxes, address Social Security and health care, and a whole lot more, all with a clear, defined income strategy. Call the Alpha Wealth Group at 630-934-1855. Ask for the complimentary retirement plan. That's 630-934-1855 or online at alphawealthgroup.com. And listen to the Alpha Wealth Hour Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. right here on AM 560.
Advisory services through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Alpha Wealth Group, licensed in Illinois.
If you own or run a business and you listen to AM 560, you might not realize that the conservative programming that you enjoy is supported by advertisers. Our loyal listeners love to do business with the advertisers they hear every day on AM 560. Now, it probably won't surprise you that there are some businesses who avoid advertising with us because they don't like what we do here. And that's okay, because our audience wants to support businesses that support what we do and think like we think. We would love to have you join the list of successful companies who are already reaching new, like-minded customers. Most AM 560 advertisers have been here for years for one simple reason: they get results. Join our efforts to make a difference in the lives of our listeners who are passionate about supporting our great family of AM 560 advertisers. To learn more, just visit 560theanswer.com/advertise. That's 560theanswer.com/advertise.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
640. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time, a service of almostfreeteeth.com. What if you could save on average 90% for dental implants and get 100% of that smile back with the Blue Cross Blue Shield PPO or FEP? It's possible. Check if you qualify at almostfreeteeth.com. Kennedy, 54 minutes. O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. The Edens right now, 30 minutes. Lake Cook Road to the junction. Due to an earlier accident, the outbound Ike jammed up Harlem to 25th. Stevenson inbound. Jam solid first to Cicero. And the Dan Ryan at 25 minutes into the Circle from 95th. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. Now, your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunshine and 84 today. Clear and 65 overnight. Clouds and sunshine tomorrow with an evening shower. Thunderstorm high 86. 60 at O'Hare. Your next news update comes at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. Only the biggest stories, only the biggest guests, and only the biggest opinions. This is AM 560, The Answer.
Oh, that was funny. You just showed me the Saturday Night Live skit
the interview
that you posted on your Facebook page?
Yeah, Facebook.
Love Facebook. And how many views did it get?
15 million?
Oh, earlier it was 16 million.
16
Are
million.
you fake news?
15.8.
Oh, okay. No, that was. They couldn't make that today.
No.
Whew.
No.
That was a little uncomfortable for me to watch.
Yo
I don't know why.
Yeah, but Paul. It was written by Paul Mooney. Great comedian, and Chevy Chase was a little apprehensive of doing it, and Richard helped Paul Mooney write it, but Paul actually wrote it.
Oh,
and that was one of the highest. That's one of their highest rated Saturday Night Live skits.
Really,
the interview.
Okay, so it's gonna.
Yeah, it's not safe to tell.
Welcome back to the program, Mayor Craig Johnson from Elk Grove. How are you?
Good, Amy. How you doing today?
Good. I hope you had a wonderful Labor Day weekend.
We did. We extra money in everyone's pocket in Elk Grove, so we all enjoyed it a little bit better.
Yeah. So what's going on, and why didn't I move to Elk Grove?
Well, we wonder that. We've been saying that a long time. Well, what happened is, if you look out your studio windows and see that nice big building going next door to your location there, the village is doing very well, and it's not the first time. Actually, Amy, you said tens of thousands. We actually gave back $3 million to our residents, and this is the fourth time in 4 years that we've given our residents rebates like that. The first two times were water bill credits during COVID. The third time was a $200 gift card during the great inflation bang. And then this time we did it because the village is doing well, and time to help people with their kids going back to school and other things going on this fall. So we decided to give money directly back to the taxpayers.
Well, how much money per household did you give everybody?
What we did was every household, whether it's single-family, multifamily, apartment, condo, townhome, anything, got a $200 gift card sent to their address. And again, this is the fourth time, and each time it's worth about $3 million. And it's basically done because the village is doing very well, and we always take our first priority is to make sure we continue to have the lowest property tax rate in all Northwest Cook County. So Arlington Heights, Mount Prospect, Des Plaines, Schaumburg, all of them pay more. Secondly, we make sure we take care of the best employees any village has in the world, which we do. We make sure we invest back into the community, keep it strong, and we want to give money back to the community residents directly when we can. And we're able to do that again this year, and we're very excited to do it.
Wow. What have the residents been saying? What's the feedback?
Disbelief all the time. And like I said, we've been doing this, so you'd think they kind of get used to it, but they're always in disbelief. We get letters, emails, phone calls, people coming to see us, talking to us, and they're saying the same thing. Government doesn't do this.
No.
Why are you doing this? And we said, it's the right thing to do. If we're doing well, they need to do well. And some people say, well, you just give me my money back. Actually, in Elk Grove, 16 cents of every dollar they get back is their money. 84 cents of every dollar they get back comes from that successful business park. And that's the key to Elk Grove's success, is having such a great business park. I'm not sure if you've seen our ads we've been running lately on TV and stuff. We voted Municipality of the Year again this year. Our business park for 2 years in a row, we voted Best Business Park in America. We're getting recognitions, accreditations, you name it. Elk Grove's at the top of the heap, and we're enjoying it, and we want to make sure our residents enjoy it too.
And you sponsored a bowl game, remember?
Oh yeah, a few years ago. We're unique, Amy. We think outside the box to get our word out. We sponsored the Makers Want It Bahamas Bowl. The Makers Want is our tagline for our business park. We have a lot of industrial making things, so we call ourselves the Makers Want It. Then we sponsor Olympic teams. We just got done sponsoring Brad Keselowski in his car in the Chicago Street Race. So, we try to get the word out. And the better, like I say, the key on this is, Amy, is we do well, we think our residents should enjoy the success. Besides having the best services, maybe a little bit money back to them, especially these times are kind of difficult for a lot of people. We feel it's a way to share it with everyone involved.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Mayor, I don't think I've heard any ads on AM 560, The Answer plan for how great. So you may have to shift some of that money to us, to AM 560.
Keep it in mind. Yes. I mean, and that's key. And I tell people all the time, they go, well, why would you sponsor a bowl game? Why? Because you want to get the word out. There's millions of towns in this world. And why should someone pick Elk Grove Village out of nowhere? Well, you want to get the word out. And because of our uniqueness and things we do, Love's Fueling Station on Bussey Road in Elk Grove came directly, which is unusual to be able to trace this, directly from a bowl game. Chad Bruner, the vice president of Love's Fueling Station in Oklahoma City, watched the football game, huge college fan, Googled Makers Won It, what the heck's this? They were looking to put not only fueling stations on highways, they want to put them in big business parks. And him and the CEO came out in January. The game was in December, came out in January. And by May, they were meeting with me, getting ready to put their prototype fueling station. And what does that mean to Elk Grove Village? Hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in tax revenue. Wow. And again, we didn't give them anything, didn't ask for any rebates, any kind of incentives. They just came because they wanted to be in Elk Grove that bad. And we're now we've paid back our TV commercial, we're paid back our other sponsorships. And that's why you got to do it. You got to get the word out, especially our town. I mean, we're the biggest business park in North America.
Wow.
We're the biggest and the best, and we're doing phenomenally well. And so we should reward our residents. We should take care of our employees, take care of this community as a whole, which we do, and it's a success. And like I say, every day you two look out that window and see that building up next door, that's one of the reasons right there. These companies, we expected to get about $4 to $5 million in permit fees for the whole year. For the first 3 months, we got $5 million.
Wow.
And we're doing that well, and that's why we thought it was time to give back to the community.
So you have a budget surplus, unlike the city that we live in with the other Mayor Johnson. We have a big budget deficit.
Yeah, we're doing well. We keep track. We're paying off any debt we have. We're paying off 4 to 5 years early. We're on top of things. And I got to be honest, Amy, John, that's not me.
Right.
That's the community as a whole. I've got phenomenal board members serving with me. I got the best staff in the world. I mean, think about this. We're the only town in Illinois and one of only 3 in the entire country that every major department is nationally accredited. That's our police, fire, public works, and building and admin.
Wow.
We're the only one in the state and only 1 in 3 countries have those designations. That tells you something's got to be right here in Elk Grove Village. And we're probably the only town around that gives money back like this on a continuous basis, not one time, but now 4 times.
And Mr. Mayor, we had Ted Dabrowski from WirePoints.org on yesterday, and one of the part of the discussion we were having is when you look at what's happening in the city of Chicago, the first thing, especially here in Illinois, most leaders, they always want to talk about, what tax can we raise? It sounds like, it's what a novel idea to give people back the money that they send to the cities. Is there going to be an expansion on this? Is there any future plans to expand this out, to give people more back, to reduce the taxes even more?
Well, what we do is, and thank you for bringing that up, our first goal is always to make sure we're the most cost-affordable community out there. So that's why I'm proud to say for 26 straight years, we've had the lowest property tax in all Northwest Cook County. All of our neighboring towns, they're big towns, good friends of ours, the mayors and all that, Schaumburg, Arlington Heights, Hoffman State, Mount Prospect, Des Plaines, all the towns around here, we got the lowest property tax rate. So that's the first thing we look for. Secondly, we want to make sure we provide the best services to our community. Our residents and our businesses deserve nothing less than the best police, fire, public works, engineering, administration services. They deserve the best. So that's our next goal. Our third goal is to make sure we reinvest. We reinvest millions of dollars every year in new street work, landscaping, aesthetics, structures, bridge, whatever we got to do to make sure we give the best services and facilities for people to use. Then after that, I look for ways to give back to the residents. And this is just one of many ways we've done before. We have community events. Amy, you know this. We put on concerts second to none. We had the Beach Boys playing on the 4th of July here at Elk Grove Village this year, and it was a free concert to the community. Free.
And didn't you have did you have Poison or Rat? I can't remember.
No, we haven't had Poison. We had, I'm not sure which one, but we had Poison. I mean, not Poison. We had Beach Boys this year. We had Martina McBride this year. We had Bret Michaels this year.
Bret Michaels, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, we have, right, very good. Yeah, we have Bret Michaels playing. So, I mean, these we've done for years. We've had Foreigner. We've had Kenny Loggins. You name them.
You had Pat Benatar, I remember.
Yep.
But what was your dream band that you wanted? Because was it Beach Boys?
Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks, yes.
It's still my
That's
hope,
your girl.
my aspiration, but I'm not sure. But we've been trying year after year, and we're ready to do it anytime. We've talked to her people many times. So, so Amy, you and John, anything you do to push that a little bit, we'd appreciate it.
And you know what? She takes the Ravinia gig over you every time, Mayor Johnson. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we do kind of go back and forth with Ravinia a little bit, but again, we give this back to the community, and that's important. We started doing these concerts during the Great Recession. It was a way for the community to come together, no cost. They could bring their own drinks, own food, sit back, relax, and enjoy a night together with family, friends, and workers can go. So they may not live in Elk Grove, but they may work in Elk Grove. 70,000 people work in Elk Grove every day. They can.
We're familiar with that.
Yes, So, and that's what I'm saying. It's just a way to make people feel better. And, I was born and raised just a block from where you guys are located right now.
Wow.
And this is the way the community should be. We should come together and enjoy it. It's, tough times out there for a lot of people, and here we can make it better for them. And here's the beauty of this thing. I tell people everywhere we spend our money, where it comes from. For our concerts, and our concert budget this year is $750,000. But we pay for it completely by one, we have a 1% hotel tax. Two, we collect the $40,000 each year in a fee if you sell tobacco products. And three, we have video gaming. So I tell people, unless you smoke, gamble, or stay in Elk Grove hotels, I always tell the men, be careful how you answer that hotel question in front of your wife. I said, unless you do those three things, you pay absolutely nothing for those shows.
Yeah. I got a question. I got a two-part question for you because I know we're running out of time.
Sure.
Has this been introduced to the Mayor's Association? I know all you mayors get together. And do you think this will warrant a visit from the state auditors with Pritzker? Anytime you give a rebate or give people back their money, the state's always looking for money. You think they're going to come after you guys?
Well, I remember this. I pray not, but remember this. With our business park and our residence too, but especially your business park, we're one of the biggest tax exporters in the state. We pay our businesses pay a ton of taxes to the state, county, federal, everything. We want to become a bigger tax importer. So if the governor wants to talk to me, I'd love to talk to him how we do things and maybe get some of that tax money from the state back to Elk Grove Village. So, any way we want to be a partner, we're glad to do it with them. But I'm more than happy to show people how to get things done, to spend the money right, to spend it where it should be, and more importantly, to take care of the taxpayers first.
And you also own an insurance company, and you're moving to our building, correct?
That's right. Come January, I own the oldest business in Elk Grove Village. My parents moved here in January '58, and we're still here in Elk Grove to this day. So, yep, we're going to be neighbors of yours come January 1st. We're going to be on the 9th floor overlooking that building being built next to that data center.
Wow. And then one last question before we let you go. During COVID, there was talk of you starting your own health department. Are you still thinking about that?
Well, we have found, amazingly, when you start squawking a little bit, how people become a little more responsive. So I've got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The work we've done with the Cook County Department of Health has been better than what it's been in the past, and our hope is we don't have to repeat what they're already doing. So right now, we haven't done anything further, but we're always on the edge. If we need to go that direction, we will. But at this point, we've been getting some very good response back, so we're feeling good what's going on right now.
All right, Mayor Craig Johnson, we're going to have to leave it there for today, but thanks for coming on and promoting Elk Grove Village.
And thank you both very much. We love the show, and we love you're here in Elk Grove Village.
All right, thank you so much. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gevalis, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
This is Seth Leibson for Townhall.com. American hostages are being held by a terrorist regime that just recently executed one of them as he was nearly liberated. The murder of 6 hostages came in the tunnels under Rafah, where Kamala Harris and Joe Biden famously and repeatedly told Israel not to fight. I've studied the maps, Kamala Harris said, as she warned Israel not to go into Rafah. Israel restrained and Hersh Goldberg Poland was executed where Biden and Harris pressured Israel not to go. Tim Walz, Kamala's VP pick, was asked about the execution of the hostages, including Hersh, and, like jesting Pilate, washed his hands and walked away from the question. Under this administration, there's been a lot of walking away, including from the moral principle that we pressure those who take innocent and American hostages and not those who are the victims, especially when the victims are our allies and citizens. Hersh Goldberg Poland and some 30 other Americans were slaughtered by Hamas, a terror organization. We should not be walking away from Israel or from our innocence.
Dennis Prager here. Join me on an unforgettable cruise to the Caribbean this November. We'll cruise to the vibrant islands of Half Moon Cay, Curacao, Bonaire, Turks and Caicos, and much more. We'll be joined by special guest Sean McDowell, and we'll both be sharing insights into current events in a way I hope energizes and challenges you. Secure your spot before space runs out by calling 855-565-5519 or book online at PragerCruise.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right. Love meeting new neighbors. All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, it's not if, it's when there'll be the next pandemic. We'll start there with Dr. Richard Bartlett. Oh, yeah. No, gird your loins. You got to hear what the World Health Organization leader had to say just last week. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
A man charged with stabbing a teen in northwest Indiana. A CTA employee shot outside a Northside train station. A man charged in the killing of a college gymnast from Plainfield. Cubs get blanked by the Pirates. White Sox crushed by the Orioles. WIND Chicago News Time 7.
Former President Trump in prime time. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Hours after Vice President Harris goes to New Hampshire unveiling proposals to give tax breaks to small businesses.
Former President Trump had said he was hoping to debate Vice President Harris on Fox News tonight, but her campaign did not agree to that, and so it's turned into a town hall featuring just former President Trump with Fox News host Sean Hannity. Among the topics to be discussed, next Tuesday's debate with Harris on ABC.
That's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. There's more scrutiny for Secret Service. More than a month after the Trump assassination attempt, Republicans Senator Josh Hawley tells Fox whistleblowers have come forward saying some agents at the rally were from Homeland Security with no protection experience doing unrelated casework.
They were pulled off those cases, said, here, you're going to go guard the former president of the United States. Watch this webinar. Oops, it doesn't really work. Oh, that's all right. Go out into the field anyway.
The U.S. government has charged 6 Hamas leaders in the deaths of 43 Americans in the October 7th terror attack that triggered the war with Israel.
Hamas terrorists murdered civilians who tried to flee and those who sought refuge in bomb shelters. They murdered entire families. They murdered the elderly, and they murdered young children. They weaponize sexual violence against women.
Attorney General Merrick Garland. 3 of those Hamas members charged have been killed. The other 3 still in Gaza somewhere. A political shakeup in Ukraine while Russian attacks continue. Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba has resigned, joining several others stepping down.
President Zelensky's vowed to reset his cabinet, in his words, to achieve the results we need. Meanwhile, 7 people, 3 of them children, have reportedly been killed in a new Russian air attack on Lviv in western Ukraine. It follows missile strikes yesterday in which at least 50 people died.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. House Republicans have issued a subpoena for Secretary of State Antony Blinken to testify at a hearing later this month into the chaotic 2021 U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, that including a suicide bombing that killed Americans. America's listening to Fox.
Sunshine, 60 degrees, at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. A CTA employee is seriously hurt in a drive-by shooting. It happened outside a Northside train station last night in the 7500 block of North Paulina. Man suffered a gunshot wound to the chest and is in serious condition. A Chicago man faces murder charges in a mass execution-style shooting on a CTA Blue Line train in Forest Park. Investigators now say Ronnie Davis shot and killed 4 on that train in Forest Park.
Sort of mass killing like this ever occurring. And so, no, I don't necessarily worry about homeless people being killed, but I do worry about homeless people being vulnerable.
Dorval Carter of the CTA. 3 of the victims have been identified. Davis was arrested by Forest Park Police and CTA security on a Pink Line train. He's due in court today. Federal judge has ruled that an Illinois law banning the concealed carry of firearms on public transit is unconstitutional. U.S. District Judge Ian Johnston's ruling sides with 4 Illinois gun owners. Dalton's embattled mayor is taking action in spite of trustees canceling a meeting.
The Open Meetings Act says, you know what you got to do to cancel one of these meetings? You got to give 10 days of notice. 10 days of notice to the public. Certainly notice to the mayor. You know what they did? They didn't give you any notice at all.
The mayor's attorney, Mayor Tiffany Henyard, appointed a new village administrator and a new village attorney last night, even after the meeting was canceled due to a lack of trustees. Cubs had 5 hits in a 5-0 loss to the Pirates. White Sox losing skid at 12 games following a 9-0 loss to Baltimore. Bears back at it at Hallis Hall, prepping for their season opener next Sunday against Tennessee. The news, a service of Health Insurance Mentors. Are you 65 or older? Medicare done correctly will be the best health insurance you will ever have. Call Stephen Tucker today for free Medicare advice. HealthInsuranceMentors.com, 630-674-1551. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The 2 things that hit every family's budget the hardest are the price of gas and the price of groceries. And for the past few years, we've all been feeling that pain. That's why AM 560 wants to help fill your gas tank and your pantry. It's our gas and groceries giveaway contest. You could win up to $10,000 in gift cards for gas and groceries. Enter today at 560theanswer.com/contest. That's 560theanswer.com/contest.
In theaters now, Reagan returns to office.
We are the greatest country in the world, and we have just forgotten it.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him. I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted to make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight!
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Reagan in theaters now. Rated PG-13. May not be suitable for children under 13.
The best things in life, they come in 2s. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in 2s. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by September 2nd, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
This is Sean Thompson. When you go on vacation, does it make sense to have somebody else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement, but you don't have a plan customized to your goals, it's like kind of taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in the suitcase. Sounds like a stressful way to begin what should be a relaxing time. Tom Fortino at Alpha Wealth Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to reduce future taxes, address Social Security and health care, and a whole lot more, all with a clear, defined income strategy. Call the Alpha Wealth Group at 630-934-1855. Ask for the complimentary retirement plan. That's 630-934-1855 or online at alphawealthgroup.com. And listen to the Alpha Wealth Hour Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. right here on AM 560.
Advisory services through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Alpha Wealth Group, licensed in Illinois.
7:07. Let's get an update on the roads in our Team Hochberg Traffic Center. And this update is a service of Papa Nicholas Coffee, a Chicagoland tradition for over 5 generations. Hot air roasted locally, cold blended in small batches to ensure premium quality. Choose Papa Nicholas Coffee because great coffee is their family tradition. Online at papanicholas.com. The Kennedy at 1 hour O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Outbound, 21 to the junction, 42 back out to O'Hare. The Ike inbound, an hour and 13 minutes, 390 into the old post office. Outbounders, you're blocked up. Left lane accident between Laramie and 25th. Also an accident, left lane blocked outbound at Route 83. Dan Ryan right now running at about 24 from 95th into the circle. Accident outbound Bishop Ford at 115th. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Steve Williams.
Sunshine today, the high at 84. Clear tonight, low 65. Clouds and sun for tomorrow. Shower or thunderstorm by nightfall. The high tomorrow 86. Clouds and sun afternoon shower in spots on Friday. High Friday afternoon at 71. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560. The Answer.
60 at O'Hare. Next news 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560. The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning. Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony in for Dan Proft.
Hey.
How you feeling?
Feel good.
Any vid? Every time I sneeze around here, I'm like, COVID, Elk Grove variant 57295. Because they keep changing.
Yeah, so many variants, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And good old Dr. Fauci, he's been jabbed 5,227 times. And he got the vid.
And when people are vaccinated, they can feel safe that they are not going to get infected.
Uh-huh.
I got infected about 2 weeks ago. It was my 3rd infection, and I had been vaccinated and boosted a total of 6 times.
Is he listening to himself? I mean, did he hear what he just said? But it'll get the vaccine. It'll protect you.
And then he was in the hospital for. I'm not laugh. I'm rude.
Oh.
I need to be better. I need to step up.
Be better, Amy.
He just got out of the hospital because he had West Nile virus.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I mean, because that could.
Yeah.
Especially for somebody his age.
Isn't there treatments for that now, though?
Yeah, I mean, that's why he's in the hospital for it. But I'm spraying like crazy because I got cicada mite bites all over my body through my clothes.
Wait, speak English, what?
Cicada bites. Oh. So the mites that were on the cicadas are looking for somewhere to go because the cicadas are, dying once they lay their eggs, go away for the next 17, 13 years. Like? Oh, it's bad. I wish I could show you, but they're in places. But I had huge welts. It lasted 2 weeks.
Really?
On my chest. Well, because I rode a bike through the botanical gardens. and they bit me through my clothes. And it is bad. And if you scratch and itch it,
like mosquito
I got a
bite.
big, huge, it was a bruise just from scratching it and spreading. So I'm golfing today, and I'm going to wear long sleeves, put on, I don't even know if bug spray is going to work with that stuff. But
Black folk ain't got to
this
worry
is-
about that.
This is how sad, because I saw it on the local news.
Yeah.
And I thought, because they fed us so much bull jive during COVID. And then exactly what they said would happen could
Can I just say
happen
something?
happened.
Can I
Yes.
say something? If you're black, has that ever happened to you? Give us a call, 312-642-5600. Because I ain't never heard of that.
You've never heard of
I ain't
cicada
never heard-
mites?
No. Never. No. And I've grown up.
Well, you
I'm
live
in
in
Chicago.
Joliet.
We have them.
Don't you have cicadas there?
Everywhere out there. You go down 55.
Well, you better be careful going down or sitting. Don't sit under an oak tree.
Well, trees and black people. Yeah, I don't.
Oh,
hang
my
out.
God.
I don't hang out.
You like now you're. Okay. Let's just get to our next guest. It is Dr. Richard Bartlett. We talked to him a number of times during COVID. Practiced medicine in Texas for 30 years and served for former Governor Perry's healthcare task force. Good morning, Dr. Bartlett. How are you?
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, John.
Hey,
okay, so have you heard of cicada mite bites?
Oh my goodness. Let's get to COVID and Anthony Fauci.
I know it's a regional thing, and he's in Texas.
I'll tell you what's going on. The CDC, it appears to me that the CDC is targeting the black population with their marketing and their propaganda.
Yeah.
They have on the internet a picture of a elderly black lady playing cards, and the caption says, "Betting against getting long COVID is a dangerous game. Find updated COVID vaccines near you." It's from the CDC. And so they're implying that if you get the vaccine, you won't get long COVID. Well, the study just got published August 28th, 2024 in Infectious Diseases saying, look, 54,000 people studied by this health system, and they found that long COVID is not prevented by the vaccines. And so that is cutting edge news right now. We were told by Anthony Fauci, by the CDC director Walensky, that if you get the shot, the COVID shot, you won't get COVID, right?
Right.
That was a lie. And lately they've been saying and targeting the black population, saying if you get the shot, you won't get long COVID. Well, that was just proven wrong in the Infectious Diseases Journal, August 28th, 2024, by the authors are Swift et al. And the study shows clearly that your chance might even be worse.
Well, why don't they take it off their website then?
Because they're not bothered by the truth, apparently. They don't want to get confused with facts. Because, did they ever retract and admit that they were wrong, that if you get the shot, you will get COVID? No. They've never gone backwards and admitted Anthony Fauci made the biggest misinformation, most deadly misinformation in the world, killing. There are millions of people that died because of this misinformation type of message. That when he said budesonide, an inhaled steroid, was just a placebo, it doesn't work. When he did an interview with Matthew McConaughey, but budesonide was, according to Oxford University, they did 2 randomized controlled trials. That's called science. And Fauci never quoted any science when he said that. And Oxford said 90% of the people never would have got hospitalized, gone to the ER, or even in urgent care if they would have gotten budesonide early for COVID. That's what Oxford says. That's 900,000 Americans that died that probably shouldn't have, according to just that study.
What exactly is long COVID? And I know I have a friend she's like, her husband is long COVID, and is that really a thing?
Yeah, it's residual symptoms for people who do not get treated adequately for COVID. And so what happens is, I'm on the executive board of a nonprofit that sued the FDA for the Pfizer shot data. And I don't know if you remember that story, but we sued the FDA because we thought, hey, if we're going to give a new medicine that's experimental, we ought to be able to tell the patients the risk and the benefits of it. but they haven't given the doctors any information. So we sued the FDA itself for the Pfizer shot data. See, Pfizer gave all their information on their shot to the FDA. The FDA told us, legally, we're supposed to give you that information. We have it all in the computer. We could push print. We could push the send button and send it to you, but we don't want the American people to see this for 55 years.
And you know, Amy, Doctor, it's so good to talk to you again. I remember, you remember when I got COVID and you gave me budesonide.
Yep.
My symptoms lasted 3 days.
Sounds like you made it, John.
Yeah, the second time I got it, I used it when I felt something. I lost my smell and taste, and I haven't gotten again. I have not gotten. At least I haven't been sick.
Right.
I don't know how long. But
John,
yeah,
you could help Anthony Fauci. You could tell him this, and it might help him not get COVID again.
Yeah, that's right.
But when you look at and this is one of the reasons, and a lot of people try to blame Trump about Operation Warp Speed. Remember, we didn't find out we had a vaccine or mRNA until after the election. I don't know if you guys recall that.
Oh, I recall Kamala Harris saying, "I'm not taking a Trump vaccine."
Yeah, exactly.
Remember that?
Exactly.
And then they get into office and push it down our throats.
Not only did they get into office, but they completely shut down America. They were the leading force in shutting down America. So that's one of the reasons why I could never trust a Harris administration, because if she would do that, remember, this is their partnership.
Trump shut us down too.
No. Trump shut down the flights from China. Trump shut down flights from different countries. Trump never shut the country down.
He let
states decide. But when you look at how much they lied with Fauci, with the vaccines, I lost my YouTube channel because of my reporting on this and talking about budesonide. But what is it?
Budesonide. No, you got it right.
Budesonide.
Yeah,
they shut down your YouTube channel.
That was one of the reasons why they shut down my YouTube channel, Doctor.
Yeah, Zuckerberg admitted that he colluded with the government to censor and suppress the truth. He admitted that he was doing propaganda and messaging about COVID and COVID shots. That was on Facebook, but I was censored and suppressed on YouTube. I had an interview where I broke the news that we had an answer for COVID, a treatment strategy that worked, and that we could save countless lives with budesonide, clarithromycin, an antibiotic, and aspirin. And I said, we don't have to be afraid anymore. That was probably the thing that offended them the most, is that I was saying we don't have to be afraid, because they were absolutely pushing fear and manipulating people. And that interview had 5.5 million views in 10 days, and YouTube pulled it. And so YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I was doing an interview live on Instagram Live with RFK Jr. He asked me to interview with him, and in 5 minutes into my interview, they cut my audio during the live interview. They were censoring, suppressing in real time, constantly, the truth. And people died. Anthony Fauci lied. People died. Pick a side. Ooh. And I picked my side. John's picked his side. Yep. Amy's picked her side. Enough is enough. They call it a vaccine, but when we think of vaccines, we think of the arguments of smallpox, polio, tetanus vaccines, flu vaccine, shingles vaccine. None of those have 5 ingredients that are in the COVID shots that are not in any other vaccine in history, that, according to the OSHA safety data sheet, are not for human use, not for human or veterinary use, for research use only. And so yet they still categorize it as a vaccine when you're thinking of, and they make their arguments, well, you know what vaccines did with polio and with smallpox. Well, polio and smallpox did not have pseudouridine, SM-102, ALC-305. It didn't have antifreeze, which is polyethylene glycol. It didn't have tromethamine. Those are 5 ingredients that are in the COVID shots that are not for human or veterinary use, according to the OSHA. That's Occupational Safety and Health Administration. That is the federal government agency who monitors chemicals and says what the ingredients are, everything we know about them, and whether they should be used in humans or not. And they say not for human or veterinary use. I mean, you could not use it legally on a lab rat, but they're telling us to put it in our children.
Right.
Oh my gosh. And Kamala Harris, by the way, I don't know if you heard this. It's mandatory that all of her staff be up to date on their vaccinations and boosters in order to work in her office or to be on her campaign.
People still want to work for her?
How can she be so hateful?
Yeah.
God.
I got a question. Did we ever find out how this was created? Did it come from a lab leak? Did China create this virus? I personally think it was a bioweapon that was used against
it was
America.
a bioweapon. It was a bioweapon. It was made in a bioweapon lab in a nation state that was in an economic war with the United States in conjunction. But it was made by gain-of-function research. It was funded by U.S. taxpayer dollars. You had Senator Rand Paul holding a fistful of evidence, shaking it under Fauci's nose on the Senate floor, the receipts of the funding with U.S. taxpayer dollars. This is according to the FBI and the Department of Energy Intelligence Branch. That's code for spies. Right. And so two government agencies, the FBI said it came from a lab. It's not my opinion. It's what the FBI said. And so we know it came from there. We know that it was a weapon of mass destruction because it killed a lot of people and it was indiscriminate. And that's what a bioweapon does. Biological weapons, chemical weapons, nuclear weapons are weapons of mass destruction. And so think about this. They had this Event 201 happened right before COVID, and it had the mainstream media branches there, CNN, MSNBC, all the mainstream media. It had pharmaceutical companies there, Bayer Pharmaceutical. It had Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson. It had the CDC and the FDA, and it had the World Health Organization, which isn't even an American organization there, to talk about a planning meeting that would handle COVID-type of pandemic. And 2 months later, it happened. They talked about how they were going to control the messaging. That's called propaganda. How they were going to control the people. And that happened right before COVID. It was called Event 201. People can look it up. Well, guess what's going to happen on October 2nd and 3rd in Washington, D.C.? It's called the International Bird Flu Summit. It's going to be the same characters there doing a planning meeting for what they're going to do for a bird flu pandemic. So guess what's coming?
And
flu pandemic.
That's what Tedros said, that guy in charge, the monster in charge of the World Health Organization, that it's not a matter of when, it's not if, it's when. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, he said it's not that bird flu is going to happen. He said it's not a matter of if, but when. And so we know it's going to happen. The evidence is we paid for it with U.S. taxpayer dollars. In the omnibus spending bill, $700 million was set aside for a zoonotic infection, meaning from birds to humans, and $316 for an imminent flu pandemic. How did Congress know we were going to have a flu pandemic in the immediate future? That would be bird flu, $1 billion. Wow. Taxpayer dollars already sent. It's already being divvied up, $166 million to Pfizer, $166 million to Moderna for countermeasures. Redfield, the CDC director, said that bird flu, he said COVID was just a wake-up call. The bird flu will be the great pandemic that will kill 10 to 15% of people who get it. There's an executive order that was in 2019 which made a task force with the Department of with the military, the Department of Justice, the CDC, and the FDA, all in the same task force to encourage Americans to get their flu shot in the near future. Guess what kind of flu shot? It'll be a bird flu with with modified RNA technology. Yeah.
No.
Cut.
Well, do you think there's going to be shutdowns again, school closures?
Yes, International Bird Flu Summit is happening October 2nd and 3rd in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be planning shutdowns, all the usual things, is my expectation. But you know what? We'll see how it goes. I think the American people are much more aware of things now.
Oh, yeah.
We were all caught by surprise, doctors and patients, but now we know what the game is. And so this is imminent.
Yeah, I've been valiantly fighting it since day one.
Well, and then today, just so you know, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, is going to be in the hot seat today because, remember what he did? He put COVID-infected elderly patients back into nursing homes, and then they're alleging that he and Attorney General Letitia James, hello, you know her, fidged down the number of deaths for elderly people in nursing homes to cover their behinds, if you know what I mean.
Hey, you kill one person, that's called murder.
Yeah.
And so, the report was thousands were sent back to nursing homes. So how's that? We talk about social distancing, shutting down non-essential businesses, and he's literally sending people with a deadly disease among the
highest risk group.
Yes, and so it was totally against science. Everything that's been pushed by the public health department has been against science. And let's just remember, the public health department, the public health agencies are the ones that did the Tuskegee experiment, where they injected young black men with live syphilis and watched them slowly die over decades without telling them what they did to them, and never gave them a treatment, never offered a treatment. That's the same agencies that are that you have to keep an eye on these days.
That's why black people don't trust this type of stuff. That's why I've never had a flu shot. I've never had a flu shot in my life. Ever.
Don't get one then.
I've never had one.
Hey, you're still around, so it looks like it worked for you.
Yeah.
All right, Dr. Richard Bartlett, we're going to have to leave it there. Where can people get more information about you or any of your remedies?
Here's what I work with an investigative journalist out of Nashville named John Fleetwood, and so johnfleetwood.com, Jon, no H, johnfleetwood.com. We have 2-minute reads with all the receipts and the evidence in it about the latest things happening. It's free. Go there, get informed. Also, budesonideworks.com. Bird flu's coming. There's ways to treat it. We've already published that in johnfleetwood.com. So we don't need to be holding our breath and waiting for. Don't roll up your sleeve for an experimental shot when they tell you the sky is falling.
Hey, Dr. Bartlett, is there anything that you would recommend for the bird flu that's coming to keep you protected?
Thank you. Yes. There's a flu medicine that came out 3 years ago called Xofluza, Xofluza, a one and done, one pill, one time for the regular flu. It is light years better than Tamiflu, the old flu medicine.
Oh, yeah.
Secondly, budesonide nebulizer treatments save countless lives around the world. It's now a part of the India national treatment strategy for COVID. It's now a part of Australia's national treatment strategy for COVID. It's been used around the world. It's why here in West Texas, where I am, a city just had Dr. Richard Bartlett Day for my response to COVID because of the treatment strategy.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. So, it feels like that movie, It's a Wonderful Life, where you're in a little town. But I'll tell you, don't underestimate what you can do to help other people. And we're not helpless or hopeless. Xofluza, budesonide nebulizer treatments, aspirin, and clarithromycin antibiotic will be a treatment strategy that will save countless lives for bird flu.
And johnfleetwood.com is where you can go to find more information.
Yes, and for prevention, Oxford or in the UK, the University of Cardiff showed that mouthwash kills COVID in 30 seconds. That's not a surprise.
Well, yeah, that's what you do at the dentist's office. And not one person, and I ask every time I go back every 6 months, I said, did any of you guys ever catch COVID? I mean, you're in people's mouths. Not one person. They set a timer for 1 minute.
If everybody in Chicago started using mouthwash every day frequently and started using budesonide nose spray, that would blunt the effect of bird flu or any other respiratory virus in Chicago and save countless lives. So those are preventive measures.
Okay. All right. Dr. Richard Bartlett, thank you so much for joining us. Always informative, and have a great day. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Are you a business owner with a strategic mission, a drive to succeed, and a plan for growth, but you just need the right bank? Hi, Mike Gallagher here, letting you know that Signature Bank is all about going the distance for commercial banking customers. It's what Signature Bank does every day. Their team understands that accessibility is key to their culture. In times like these, you want a bank that is there for you to weather the bad times and capitalize on the good. And with Signature Bank by your side, you can't go wrong. It's a true partnership. That's why Signature Bank in Chicago is my bank. That's right. I'm a customer. I believe in what they have to offer. From innovative tech and customized solutions to help your business grow and thrive, reach out to my friends at Signature Bank. Call 773-467-5630, 773-467-5630, or visit them online at signaturebank.bank. That's signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank makes commercial banking personal. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Right, so yesterday, John Anthony, we were talking about your hip, and you said that you had pretty much chronic pain in your hip from you had surgery.
I had, surgically repaired hip.
After what? What did you have an accident? Did you have
a fall?
I got
into a fight, like 12 guys jumped me. No, I'm just kidding. I slipped and fell on a traffic accident.
Oh.
Look at you almost fell for
I was like, all right, I love fights. What happened?
No,
who won?
It wasn't sexy at all. It was just
okay.
Slip and fell, police radio, the curbside, my hip loss.
All right, well, if you have an injury or if you have pain in your hips or joints because of arthritis, guess what? You can use your own body's healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get you real lasting pain relief. We're talking about advanced regenerative medicine. So if you're tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulder, then you need to find out more about QC Kinetics. Regenerative medicine. You can enhance your joints and improve your mobility and get back to doing the stuff you love without pain pills, without surgery or downtime. Now listen up. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are experts in these amazing treatments, and they're led by National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup from right here in the Chicago area. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands of satisfied patients, and the consultation is totally free. So call now to get lasting joint pain relief with help from QC Kinetics. Call for that free consultation now. You have nothing to lose. They have new locations in Crystal Lake and Gurnee. Saturday appointments available. 312-809-5955. That's 312-809-5955. 312-809-5955.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, Chris Baker, the founder of Inc. 180. He wants to discuss
sex trafficking at the DNC.
Sex trafficking at the DNC. Well, who knew that was happening?
Yeah.
We'll find out the details. Stay tuned. But first, let's stop into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
7:33, 60 degrees and sunshine. Global stocks tumbling after Wall Street had its worst day since early August. As a week of economic updates got off to a very weak start, Japan's Nikkei lost over 4% yesterday. The Dow dropped 1.5%. A damning report on a deadly London high-rise fire says decades of failures by government, regulators, and industry turned the Grenfell Tower into a death trap where 72 lost their lives in 2017. Fire fueled by flammable cladding panels on the tower's exterior walls. Foreign Minister Dmitry Kuleba, one of Ukraine's most recognizable faces on the international stage, has submitted his resignation. Head of a major government reshuffle, Russian strikes killed 7 in a Ukrainian city of Lviv near the Polish border. A CTA employee seriously wounded after a drive-by shooting outside of a Northside train station. It happened last night in the 7500 block of North Paulina. The man suffered a gunshot wound to the chest and was taken to the hospital in serious condition. A Chicago man faces murder charges in a mass execution-style shooting on a CTA Blue Line train in Forest Park.
I fear, however, the question of why may never be answered, because sometimes truly horrific, heinous, evil acts have no answer.
Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox, investigators say Ronnie Davis shot and killed 4 on a train heading into the Blue Line station in Forest Park on Monday. Davis is due in court later today. Cubs had just 5 hits and a 5-0 loss to the Pirates. White Sox on a 12-game losing streak following a 9-0 loss to the Orioles. Bears back to work prepping for their season opener on Sunday against Tennessee. The news, a service of AlmostFreeTeeth.com. Overpaying for dental implants is over. If you have a Blue Cross Blue Shield, PPO, or FEP, you could save 90% on average to get your smile back. Learn more and check if you qualify at almostfreeteeth.com. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Join John Anthony, host of Black and Right, for a cruise on Lake Michigan on Saturday, September 21st. Come aboard the luxury yacht Free Spirit for a fun afternoon with fellow AM 560 listeners. Enjoy great food and beverages and be a part of the live broadcast of Black and Right with John Anthony. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/cruise. That's 560theanswer.com/cruise. Sponsored in part by Opum Tax Advocates and attorney Stephen A. Leahy.
Are you turning 65 and thinking about Medicare? Or are you over 65 and haven't enrolled yet because you still have coverage at work? Either way, Medicare done correctly will be the best health insurance you will ever have. Imagine having an annual deductible of only $240. There are only two good things about aging, wisdom and Medicare. But to navigate the Medicare maze properly, you need a mentor. Best part, my guidance cost you nothing. Call me. I can help.
If you're tired of calling a bureaucrat at an 800 number to help you navigate Medicare, then you need a local expert on your side, your own health insurance mentor. C. Stephen Tucker from healthinsurancementors.com is someone I know and trust. He's a 30-year licensed broker who's been educating our listeners for more than a decade. Steve, how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Thanks, Dan. They can visit healthinsurancementors.com or call me directly at 630-674-1551. That's 630-674-1551.
If you maintain an industrial plant, you know your dust collection systems are a vital part of the operation of your plant. Without them, things can get dusty quick. And when your dust collection system malfunctions, the downtime can cost your plant money. Time to call the professionals at Vans Industrial for help.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, owner of Vans Industrial. At Vans, we work with many different types and sizes of dust collectors, from 1,000 CFM to 100,000 CFM. If your system needs housing repair, tube sheet, pulse valves, ductwork, or collection hoods, give us a call. Schedule an inspection today to keep things running smoothly and avoid costly downtime. And when you're ready for a new dust collector, we can design your system from the collection hoods to the stat for plants of all size applications.
Vans uses only the best and safest union-trained mechanics insured at the highest level to perform the job right. Call 833-VANS-IND. That's 833-VANS-IND. Or on the web, vansindustrial.com.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
7:38. Let's get an update on the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time. And this update is service of Papa Nicholas Coffee, a Chicagoland tradition for over 5 generations. Choose Papa Nicholas Coffee because great coffee is their family tradition. Online at papanicholas.com. The Kennedy at a full 90 minutes, O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange this morning. Heavy and slow on the inbound Ike, 85 minutes from 390 into the old post office. Outbound Ike, you're a block from York Road out to Route 83 with a left lane accident. Stevenson outbound, you've got solid traffic on the exit to the inbound Dan Ryan, and you're delayed on the Dan Ryan itself, 40 minutes from 95th into the Burns Circle interchange. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Sunshine and 84 today. Mainly clear and 65 overnight. Partly cloudy and 60 right now. Next news at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios, America First with Sebastian Gorka. Weekday afternoons at 3 on AM 560. The Answer.
At 8:30 in an hour, Steve Trout, the baseball great, is going to join us.
Yeah.
And I asked Quinn for background information.
Yeah.
He prints me out his baseball stats. Pages 1, 2, 3 pages.
think I got $100 out of it.
Advanced career stats, league ranking. Well, thank you. I really want to know about Steve Trout's league rankings. Oh, this is hysterical.
I think
Here.
I got $100 out of him at the golf outing.
You can have that.
You hear
Oh,
me?
that's right. He played in our golf outing.
Yeah.
Well, how'd you get $100 out of him?
Because I was doing the
What do you got going on?
I was doing a raffle for Tunnels to Tower.
Oh, okay.
Tunnels to Towers.
Good. He's a great guy, and he has a new book. And I'm telling you, not a dry eye when you read this, The Magic Ball. And right now I can't read it because it's too much. But we'll tell you about that all at 8:38. And we're playing in a golf tournament today, too, to benefit Steve Mongo McMichael. So that'll be good.
Nice.
And I'll be
Have
all
fun.
wrapped up so I don't get cicada mite bites.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, that's John Anthony, by the way.
Are you going to
He's-
put on what do
I
you
got
call
the
that?
thing going. Okay.
No, what's the thing you had on in here? The Tyvek thing?
The
whatever.
Tyvek suit,
You
yes.
going to put one of those out to golf?
If it saves one limb, that's what we're going to do.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good.
All right, I'll take pictures. It's a really sexy look, I can tell you that. All right, let's get to some more
Your
serious
shoe.
things. This our next guest, Chris Baker, founder of Ink 180. It's a tattoo parlor, but it's also ministry. Yes. Good morning, Mr. Baker. How are you?
Good morning. How you doing, Amy?
Good, good,
John.
good.
Hey, bud.
Yes. So John has been saying that you know information about alleged sex trafficking. It happens at events. It happens.
Everywhere.
It happens everywhere. It doesn't even have to take place in an event. And sadly, we have lost, or not we, the Biden-Harris administration has lost. I don't know how this happened. Some 300,000 children at our border. And do you believe that most of them are being forced into sex trafficking, or some of them?
I believe a lot of them are either caught up in sex trafficking or labor trafficking. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so what happened here at the DNC a few weeks ago?
So we do different events throughout the year, Super Bowl, Kentucky Derby, stuff like that. And of course, this year with the conventions, and convention being here in Chicago for the DNC, we decided we were going to add that to the list. So it's a group of roughly 250 to 300 people working together with retired military special ops, retired police officers, current police officers, federal law enforcement. We don't get to do the cool kicking indoors stuff that they do, but we provide assistance through some software tools that we have to help locate those who are being trafficked around an event. And around the DNC, we did a 6-day search, and there were 77 victims recovered.
Wow, where did you find them? Like, how old were they? Can you not tell us about them personally, but information
Right.
about where you recovered them and what was their reaction?
So most of the recoveries took place around hotels, motels, strip clubs, and massage parlors. Very few were like street level working. But yeah, age range, the youngest was 15, and the oldest was 47. We had 10 males recovered and 67 females recovered.
Oh my God! I mean, that is. And how did any of them tell you their stories, like how they got roped into it? And were they trying to leave? Like, were you guys their heroes?
We don't look at it like that. I mean, we look at it as, going after one at a time, right? And some of them shared some things with us. Most of them were too afraid to. And then they were placed immediately into residential care where they can actually get the help that they need. So, yeah, I mean, nobody told us that they did it on their own. They were forced into it by people, some by family, some by people they didn't know. People, some of them were homeless on the streets or ran away from foster care or protective care and then wound up on the streets where these traffickers find them. And unfortunately, they force them into this world and get them hooked on hard drugs to keep them doing what they're doing. And they face extreme violence from these pimps and traffickers as well.
Yeah. And Chris, I think people don't really understand just how prevalent this is in Illinois. And when you because a lot, I talk to people, I try to tell them, people think the border my anger about the border crossings, they don't really understand it. Most of my anger is tied towards this human labor trafficking, sex trafficking that comes across our border. Talk to the people about why this is an important discussion and what are some of the solutions that people that are listening can do to help combat this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge part of the problem, John. I agree 100%. This election is critical for us all. We got to get this under control.
Yeah.
We've seen it far too much. I mean, I grew up in Los Angeles, so I was much closer to it then than I am now here in Chicagoland. But we see the results of it every single day. I mean, and this search was no different, you know. As far as what people can do, yeah, this is going on here every day. This wasn't a special thing that came in because of the DNC. We saw during the week of the DNC, we did see a 147% increase in the number of online sex ads in Chicagoland.
Wow.
But this is something that goes on every single day in every part of this country. It's not just in the city, the inner city, the suburbs. It's rural. It's everywhere. You know, one of the things that I look at, and I've been addressing with different churches across the state and the Midwest, is we're trying to put events together, men's events. And one of the things that really doesn't get addressed enough in the fight against sex trafficking is, you know, things like porn addiction, things that drive people to go out and buy sex, right? I think we need to be a lot more vocal about that, and that it has to be a huge part of this fight and this discussion because, you know, the question of what drives a person to go out and buy sex is a huge part of the problem.
So you said you saved 67 girls and 10 boys or young.
Yeah.
Were they mostly teenage boys or young men? Okay. Then was anybody arrested? I mean, so after you save these people, then do you go after the pimp or do you point police in that direction?
We do. We point them in that direction, let them do what they do. But yes, there were arrests made. I don't know the statistics on how many of those at this point, but yeah.
And Chris, let's talk about what you do over in I don't want to say you. Should I give out the town you're in? Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over in Oswego, one of the way I met Chris, I believe it was 2009, 2010 when I was a sheriff's deputy. But when I became a state representative, as I said on the show yesterday, Chris came to me and said, "Hey, we have so many young people who I have to remove their tattoos, but they can't come into my shop because they're under 18 and you have to have permission, and most of the people don't have permission to come in." Chris, speak to the work that Inc. 180 is doing, not just here in Illinois, but you guys travel as well. Speak to the work that you're doing and how people can assist you in the work that you're doing.
Sure. So Inc. 180 started, we formed the nonprofit in 2011, really just to start, you know, using the gifts that God gave us to help people get a second chance by removing the tattoos that defined their old life. Sex trafficking tattoos, gang tattoos, domestic violence, stuff like that. Yeah, we do an awful lot of trafficking tattoo removals. We're federal partner with, you know, Homeland Security, FBI, U.S. attorneys, safe houses across the country. I travel quite a bit. Getting those frequent flyer miles up, but this is a problem across the country. We do big events every year. We do the Super Bowl. We did the Super Bowl in Vegas this past year. There were a record number of recoveries at 539 over a 2.5-week period.
Wow.
I also removed and covered about 110 tattoos at the Super Bowl. I've got a survivor coming in today for removal. It's an everyday thing for us, and we do all that work free of charge just to help get that, you know, that horrible visual reminder off of their body so they don't have to look at it and constantly be triggered back to that time period.
And is it a number or is it a code or what do they do?
No, I mean, when we started it, we used to see a lot of barcode tattoos. We don't see as many barcodes anymore. We see a lot more things that say, you know, property of so-and-so. We see gang tattoos because gangs have become very prevalent in the world of trafficking, and they mark them with their gang tattoos.
And you have a tree.
We have the Freedom Tree here in the shop. I'm actually sitting here staring at it right now, but every time we remove or cover a tattoo for a trafficking survivor, we painted a tree on a 12-by-12 canvas in the back room of the shop, and they put their handprints up on the tree to just kind of put their flag in the sand and say that part of my life is dead and gone, and I'm moving forward with my life. And it's a great place for us to sit and pray and reflect. And, you know, times like right now when finances are tight and tough to come by, and, you know, keep this thing going, it's where we sit and pray.
So how does people? So this tattoo of my son. This is the suicide tattoo of my son's name.
Uh-huh.
Chris actually did that for me.
Oh, that's.
I went there, did it, and he did it for me. But Chris, I know this about what you do, and most of the stuff that you do, because you're a man of God and a minister. How can people who are listening to this show, can they come out and tour the place? How can they give money?
Yeah.
Can they come out there and help you as you go across the state of Illinois or across the country? Are there any opportunities for people to get involved?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, they can check out our website, inc180.com. People can donate there. We do all this work free of charge, and we just do it because it's what we've been called to do by God. But we do have opportunities for people to get involved in searches. We can train them. It's a process of background checks and training classes, but we do that all the time. We love doing that. Our shop is open to the public. It's an open door. The only time that's not true is if I have a trafficking survivor in here, and then we go on a full lockdown mode. But I love to give people tours, have people come in, talk to them about it. People come to me all the time, and they're like, Chris, I want to get involved, but I'm not sure how. Can you help me kind of navigate that? Love to do that, too. Our phone number is 630-554-1404. But, we are here in Oswego, right behind Oswego High School.
Yeah, what if there's some people who want to invite you out to speak or to bring out – you still got the ambo?
Don't have the ambulance anymore, but we do events all across the country. We speak, and in fact, I'm getting ready for some right now out in Oregon and Pacific Northwest. But we love to come into churches, organizations, schools, whatever. We do social media safety classes. We do educational events on trafficking. We don't charge for that. We just ask for donations to the ministry.
Well, you're doing God's work.
He is.
Sound of freedom.
Yeah.
Oswego style.
Well, my first bill was Chris's idea. That was, and we did
tell
another.
People your bill.
Yeah. So basically, I kind of alluded to it, where people who are sex trafficked or gang members, they can come into a tattoo parlor now, without a parental notification.
Okay.
Right. And that was Chris's brain. And we did another tattoo bill. I forget the other one, where I reached out to you and you gave me advice on. The Department
we
of Health.
had we have a lot of especially sex trafficking gang members that are underage that, because of the work that we did together, are able to come in and get that stuff removed so they can start fresh. So it was a beautiful thing.
All right, thank you so much, Chris Baker, founder of Inc. 180 Tattoo and Ministries and Saving Lives. God bless you.
Love you, brother.
Thank you. God bless you guys too. Have a great day.
You too, and he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
This is Seth Leibson for Townhall.com. American hostages are being held by a terrorist regime that just recently executed one of them as he was nearly liberated. The murder of 6 hostages came in the tunnels under Rafah, where Kamala Harris and Joe Biden famously and repeatedly told Israel not to fight. I've studied the maps, Kamala Harris said, as she warned Israel not to go into Rafah. Israel restrained and Hersh Goldberg Poland was executed, where Biden and Harris pressured Israel not to go. Tim Walz, Kamala's VP pick, was asked about the execution of the hostages, including Hersh, and, like jesting Pilate, washed his hands and walked away from the question. Under this administration, there's been a lot of walking away, including from the moral principle that we pressure those who take innocent and American hostages and not those who are the victims, especially when the victims are our allies and citizens. Hersh Goldberg Poland and some 30 other Americans were slaughtered by Hamas, a terror organization. We should not be walking away from Israel or from our innocence.
I'm worried about Mom. She's having a tough time moving around the house.
Oh, I know. She still thinks she can do everything on her own.
Exactly, but I've been over there every day this week, helping her navigate the stairs, cooking meals, reminding her to take her medicine. I'm always nervous when I leave.
You know what? I admire you for taking care of Mom. But your family needs you too. And what if she slips and falls? A friend recommended the caregivers at Senior Helpers of Naperville Southwest. They service Cook, DuPage, Kane, and Will counties. They guarantee compatibility and they'll conduct a free safety assessment of her home. Plus, they'll provide as little or as much care as Mom needs.
Senior Helpers of Naperville Southwest, offering both hourly and live-in care. Schedule a free assessment today by calling 331-281-0728. That's 331-281-0728. Again, that's 331-281-0728. And tell them AM 560 sent you. Senior Helpers of Naperville Southwest. Senior care, only better.
Attention, anyone with high blood pressure.
If you want to seriously control your blood pressure and not be a walking time bomb,
Order 120 Life today.
120 Life is an amazing blend of superfruit juices that can actually help lower your blood pressure. It's been endorsed by thousands of health professionals and doesn't have the side effects of medication.
With ingredients that have shown to naturally help control blood pressure, 120 Life could be the natural game changer in your life.
Try it for yourself, risk-free, with a 2-week trial pack.
Go to 120life.com and use coupon code 560 to save 15% and get free shipping.
120 Life is so sure it can noticeably lower your blood pressure in just 2 weeks, they'll give you your money back if you're not satisfied.
Order the 8-ounce drink or powdered mix. From pomegranates to cranberries, it's the delicious way to lower blood pressure.
Go to 120life.com now. Use coupon code 560 to save 15% and get free shipping.
I'm worried about Mom. She's having a tough time moving around the house.
Oh, I know. She still thinks she can do everything on her own.
Exactly, but I've been over there every day this week, helping her navigate the stairs, cooking meals, reminding her to take her medicine. I'm always nervous when I leave.
You know what? I admire you for taking care of Mom. But your family needs you too. And what if she slips and falls? A friend recommended the caregivers at Senior Helpers of Naperville Southwest. They service Cook, DuPage, Kane, and Will counties. They guarantee compatibility and they'll conduct a free safety assessment of her home. Plus, they'll provide as little or as much care as Mom needs.
Senior Helpers of Naperville Southwest, offering both hourly and live-in care. Schedule a free assessment today by calling 331-281-0728. That's 331-281-0728. Again, that's 331-281-0728. And tell them AM 560 sent you. Senior Helpers of Naperville Southwest. Senior care, only better.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-483-3030. 800-483-3030. 800-483-3030.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text SAVVY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text SAVVY to 42424. That's SAVVY to 42424.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, coming up, joy and vibes. Don't put food on the table. We'll explain. Today, plenty of sunshine, a high of 84. It's 8 a.m., WIND, Chicago.
They want to question the Secretary of State under oath. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. House Republicans have sent a subpoena to Antony Blinken.
House Republicans are threatening contempt charges if Secretary of State Blinken doesn't appear for a House Foreign Affairs Committee hearing on September 19th. Chairman Michael McCaul, in a letter, says current and former State Department officials have confirmed Secretary Blinken was the final decision maker on what turned out to be a chaotic exit from Afghanistan, where 13 U.S. service members were killed.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz. The State Department's calling the subpoena unnecessary. That Blinken has testified on Afghanistan multiple times, and they've turned over thousands of records. While Israel still deals with Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah militants fired more than 60 rockets from Lebanon today.
Some of them being intercepted by Israel's missile defense system, the Iron Dome. No serious injuries were reported, though some damage was reported to at least one building in the area. The event was another example of how Iranian proxies continue daily attacks against Israel and comes after Israeli air defense shot down an incoming drone launched from Iraq overnight.
Fox's Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. Russia bombed the Ukrainian city of Lviv overnight, killing 7 people. Hours later, Ukraine's foreign minister resigned amid a political shakeup during the war. The day after Russian missile strikes left more than 50 people dead in Poltava. The Secret Service is feeling more heat over the Trump assassination attempt. Republican Senator Josh Hawley tells Fox whistleblowers have come forward, saying some agents at the rally were from Homeland Security and didn't have a protection background.
Now, they say that those agents were only given a single 2-hour online training to prepare. The training video was pre-recorded, and some even say that those videos were riddled with tech failures.
Fox's Brooke Singman. Tonight, former President Trump has a town hall forum in Pennsylvania on Fox News Channel, hours after Vice President Harris campaigns in New Hampshire touting proposed small business tax breaks. America's listening to Fox News. It's 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning, everyone. I'm Mike Scott. A CTA employee seriously wounded after a drive-by shooting on at a Northside train station. It happened overnight in the 7500 block of North Paulina when an SUV pulled up. Someone inside fired shots. The man suffering a gunshot wound to the chest, taken to the hospital, again in serious condition. A Chicago man facing murder charges and expected in court today after a mass execution-style shooting on a CTA Blue Line train in Forest Park.
The question of why may never be answered, because sometimes truly horrific, heinous, evil acts have no answer.
Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox says Ronnie Davis shot and killed 4 on a train heading to Forest Park early on Monday. Governor J.B. Pritzker says he's confident that a court will overrule a federal judge's decision that a portion of Illinois' concealed carry law is unconstitutional. U.S. District Judge Ian Johnston's ruling last Friday ruled that part of the Illinois law that bans concealed carrying of firearms on public transit is unconstitutional. Cubs had 5 hits in a 5-0 loss to the Pirates at Wrigley Field. White Sox lost to Baltimore 9-0. And the Bears are back on the practice field at Hallis, getting ready to host Tennessee in Week 1. It's 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat, a service of Signature Bank. Visit signaturebank.bank for all your commercial banking needs, and now the latest from the Fox Business Network.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Dollar Tree shares are down nearly 15% following a disappointing quarter. The discount chain is citing increasing pressure on middle and higher income customers. Sales rose, but by less than 1%. Dollar Tree is lowering expectations for the year. Hormel shares are down 5%. Sales were weaker than expected in the recent quarter, and its forecast is cautious. Hormel makes Skippy, Spam, Dinty Moore, Planters, and other food brands. Nippon Steel says if it takes over U.S. Steel, the majority of its board will be American citizens. It will remain a U.S. company, and its headquarters will remain in Pittsburgh. Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris said this week U.S. Steel should remain American-owned and American-operated. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
News, a service of Crosscom Public Adjusters. Crosscom will help you get what you need and have coming to you. They've helped thousands. CrosscomPublicAdjusters.com. A check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher thinks we've gone to the dark side.
It has been confirmed
They're offering free abortions and free vasectomies at the DNC this week in Chicago. How do normal people react to that news? I mean, do you have any problem with this? Does this seem sane and normal and rational to you?
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're gonna be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code 2024 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code 2024 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code 2024 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code 2024.
In theaters now, Reagan returns to office.
We are the greatest country in the world. We have just forgotten it.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him. I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted to make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight!
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Reagan in theaters now. Rated PG-13. May not be suitable for children under 13.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
8:07 and a check on the roads this morning. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time is a service of almostfreeteeth.com. If you have Blue Cross Blue Shield, PPO, or FEP, you can save 90% off on average to get your smile back. Learn more and check if you qualify at almostfreeteeth.com. The Kennedy right now at an hour and 40 minutes O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. The Ike right now at 90 minutes, 390 into the old post office. Stevenson right now running at an hour 10 into DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Stevenson outbound, your jam solid from Lakeshore Drive out to the Dan Ryan. Dan Ryan itself, because of a vehicle fire, inbound at 95th. You're at 45 minutes into the circle. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast with Steve Williams.
Sunshine today, the high at 84. Clear tonight, low 65. Clouds and sun for tomorrow. Shower or thunderstorm by nightfall. The high tomorrow 86. Clouds and sun afternoon shower in spots on Friday. High Friday afternoon at 71. I'm Steve Williams on AM 560. The Answer.
60 at O'Hare, 49 in Aurora, 50 in Morris, 62 Lakefront. Your next news update is 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Amy Jacobson here. John Anthony in for one Dan Proft, who will be back tomorrow.
Yes.
Guess what he's been doing the past 2 days?
Let me guess. Golfing.
Oh, ding, 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 ding. Yes, you are correct.
I heard him say the course he was going to another state. I heard him say it on Friday before he left.
Okay. Well, what's the name of it?
I don't recall. I don't
You're
have
getting-
the grays. I don't have the grays here right now because they've been covered up. but-
Well, because that's called beard dye.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, just for myth.
All right. Did you hear what happened real quick before we get to our guests? The U.S. House passed the Laken-Riley Act
Oh, nice.
by 251 to 170. So 170 people voted against us. Every single Republican voted to pass it, and all 170 votes, John, against it were Democrats. But the proposed law would require the detention and deportation of illegal aliens who've been caught committing crimes.
One thing you misspoke. It's the Lincoln-Riley Act.
Oh, yeah.
Joe
right,
Biden.
The Lake, say your name. Well, ask yourself, why would anyone vote against this?
Right. Uh-oh.
So that's who we're dealing with. And Democrats in Illinois, they're always in charge. Well, you were a Republican state rep.
Yeah.
For
They are still in charge. 2 terms.
2 terms.
I was going for my 3rd.
And then you decided
To leave.
And leave you went. But that brings us to our next guest. He is Chris Henning, and he is running as a Republican for the seat of the State House for the 59th District. Good morning, Mr. Henning. How are you?
Good morning, Amy.
Yes, and John Anthony is with me.
Good morning.
Good morning, John.
Hi.
Yeah, so what is this your first time running for office?
Yes. Yes, it is.
All right. And why are you doing it?
The question that always follows, it was the combination, the piling on of issue after issue after issue. I can't think of what single issue triggered it, but I looked up who my township chair was and sent an email off blindly asking, I'm interested in running. I've got to at least put a voice into this situation, and it got directed around and got connected to the Illinois policy and part of their Run Illinois candidates. But the overall circumstances, when you look at the problems in the state, they're not being addressed.
All right. And what's the biggest problems that you think are facing the state and the people of Illinois right now?
The first one is a lack of fiscal sanity. We have to understand as a government, as a state, that just like any household, if you don't have the money, you can't buy it. We're spending ridiculous amounts of money. We're enacting mandates that are unfunded and directing the municipalities and other governmental entities and corporations to make these payments that just are not feasible under the structure and under what we have as revenue.
And Chris, let me paint a picture for you. Here's a question. Let's say you do go down there, you win. You're in a super majority. There will be no legislation you get to move. A lot of people go down there and talking about reforming Illinois. Well, that can't happen with those super majorities in both chambers and the Supreme Court as well.
No, it can't. But I'm sorry.
Wait. Knowing all of that, what can you do? And what's your why? Why are you running? Knowing that there's nothing that you can potentially do at this point. Why are you running?
You gotta try.
No, this is
Okay.
a very
well
because yes. Guess what? Because if the voters don't know why you're running, why are you running? So why are you running? What's your platform? What do you want to go to Springfield to do?
I want to have at least a voice. It's not going to change until the supermajority is broken and the Republicans get at least a voice at the table, a seat at the table. And that's going to take a lot of seats around, a lot of people getting frustrated when they look at their wallets, when they look at what they're paying for gas, what they're seeing in the educational systems. The reading and math competencies are completely unacceptable throughout the state. In my district, we're lucky enough to have Stevenson High School. Currently, the 2024 U.S. News rankings give it a 76% competency in math and 72% in reading.
And what other, yeah.
Not as many in the city, but you look at Wheeling. Wheeling is 26% in math and 21% in reading. And they're graduating 91% of the students. Reform needs to happen. Students need to be taught critical thinking, taught how to think, and not be taught rote memorization.
Okay.
Now, Chris, for those of us who don't know about you, just tell us about your past. So did you? I read in your bio that you served.
Yes. I did things backwards. I was for a short period a police officer.
Nice.
It wasn't for me. I didn't like it. I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel that at the time the municipality had the officers' interests at heart. And then I went into the Army. I served in the 1st Cavalry Division as a legal specialist. I got hurt in a training exercise. When I got out of the Army on a medical discharge, I used my vocational rehabilitation to get my Juris Doctorate from Boston University and returned to Illinois, where I grew up. I grew up in the northwest suburbs, Hoffman Estates and Arlington Heights. I've been a resident here in Mundelein for, it'll be 24 years in December. And I've seen the changes in that time. I've also spent time, I've taught business law for Columbia College of Missouri, and I've taught intro to criminal justice at the College of Lake County.
Hey, Chris,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you some free consulting advice. When you first started,
I'm always open.
When you first started off, you sounded very robotic. But when Amy had you talk about who you are, that was part of your why. You were so much more comfortable. Your conversation flowed so much better. That's the Chris that in order to win here in the state of Illinois in a democratic controlled district, that second part of Chris needs to come out more. Who you are, why are you running, what you plan to do. That Chris comes out, you have a far better chance of winning in this race. And that I'm telling you, I do this for a living. I'm telling you, people, listen, the thing about today in politics, it's not about policy. You can produce policy. People want to know who you are. And you know, there's an old saying that says, what comes from the heart reaches the heart. That's the type of politics that's been installed and created today. What are the cultural issues? What are the cultural issues in your district? Are you tackling that? Are you coming after that? What's your early voting plan? Do you have an early voting plan? Things of that nature. Early voting is getting ready to start. When, Amy?
September 26th in the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
So it's game on in a few weeks.
Yeah. You have to be able to speak to the kitchen table issues and with that second half of Chris, that's the Chris that needs to come out.
Well, thank you about that. That's great advice and something I don't think I've heard enough.
Yeah.
As far as the assistance in getting things out, I've been working with the Lake County Republicans. The Vernon Township Republicans are very active. You've got Fremont Township is trying to grow and rebuild. Same with Libertyville Township, and working with them to advance and get name recognition, which is very hard in the current environment. Unfortunately, there seems to be a lot of voter apathy and a lot of sort of nihilism as far as the chances to elect a Republican candidate. And what you see is a number of people who say, I'm just not going to vote.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, why do we want to donate to somebody who's going to lose? But if you don't, the voices will never be heard. You will never get a dissent against the supermajority, and hopefully someday in the near future, not a supermajority. We need to get candidates
Chris,
elected.
let me help. As it relates, are you doing lives on Facebook? Because you're saying there's no help. There's a lot of free help out there. Are you doing lives every day? Are you looking at what are the top 3 issues in your district? Are you speaking to the people about that? Are you talking about that on free social media?
I'm not as good as certain candidates. I love Tasa Ufadeke's outreach. She's absolutely fantastic, and I'm really hoping her campaign can pull it through in the end.
Okay. Not just her, Hannah for Illinois as well. Those are two. I mean, I would look at what they're doing, and they're doing great things.
I feel like I'm in a consulting session. This is great. No, this is good. This is what it takes.
No, it's
hey,
fantastic.
I charge for this, but I
also have.
Go ahead.
We also have a very important race in Lake County for the state's attorney with Mary Cole, who's an incredibly personable individual, knows her stuff, and, again, is out there everywhere. I can't quite get out as much as them. I'd love to, but
well, you got to hit it hard in the next few weeks because early voting starts September 26th.
And how bad do you want it?
I would like to get it very much, and it's taking a lot of work and a lot of time.
I'll give you a call.
Okay. All right, Chris Henning, where can we find more information about you and your campaign?
You can find the website is Henning 459, HENNINGFOR, the number 59.com. And you can find me on Facebook at Vote Henning 459.
Okay, great. Chris Henning, thank you so much. Henning459.com and votehenning.com. So thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
You too. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
This is Sean Thompson. When you go on vacation, does it make sense to have somebody else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement, but you don't have a plan customized to your goals, it's like kind of taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in the suitcase. Sounds like a stressful way to begin what should be a relaxing time. Tom Fortino at Alpha Wealth Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to reduce future taxes, address Social Security and health care, and a whole lot more, all with a clear, defined income strategy. Call the Alpha Wealth Group at 630-934-1855. Ask for the complimentary retirement plan. That's 630-934-1855 or online at alphawealthgroup.com. And listen to the Alpha Wealth Hour Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. right here on AM 560.
Advisory services through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Alpha Wealth Group, licensed in Illinois.
Hey, I'm going to let you in on a wireless hack that can cut your cell phone bill in half. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, they want you to think that unlimited data is fantastic. Well, the fact is, it's not. Pure Talk, my cell phone company, only charges you for data that you need. For just $25 a month, you get unlimited talk, unlimited text, 5 gigs of data, plus mobile hotspot. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, and do it now. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Save money, same service with Pure Talk.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated. And you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine.
Not fun.
Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. We find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you a business owner with a strategic mission, a drive to succeed, and a plan for growth, but you just need the right bank? Hi, Mike Gallagher here, letting you know that Signature Bank is all about going the distance for commercial banking customers. It's what Signature Bank does every day. Their team understands that accessibility is key to their culture. In times like these, you want a bank that is there for you to weather the bad times and capitalize on the good. And with Signature Bank by your side, you can't go wrong. It's a true partnership. That's why Signature Bank in Chicago is my bank. That's right, I'm a customer. I believe in what they have to offer. From innovative tech and customized solutions to help your business grow and thrive. Reach out to my friends at Signature Bank. Call 773-467-5630, 773-467-5630, or visit them online at signaturebank.bank. That's signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank makes commercial banking personal. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
One of the most important decisions you can make as a parent is where you send your kids to school. But these days, it's never been harder to know which school is best. Public schools have changed a lot, and you might be thinking about sending your child to a private Christian school. But you also know that private school can be expensive, and in this economy, you might think it's not an option. Well, think again. With halfpriceschools.com, you can purchase tuition vouchers for half the price of normal tuition for private schools. For nearly 10 years, halfpriceschools.com has helped families from all over Chicagoland make the dream of private school a reality. And that can be the reality for you and your child too. Just go to halfpriceschools.com, search for a private Christian school near you, and purchase a voucher. It's that easy. Visit halfpriceschools.com. That's halfpriceschools.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
All right, I'm going to hook you up with Chris Henning's phone number.
Okay.
But let's get an update on a guest we had earlier today, Chris Baker, founder of Inc. 180.
He just sent me a text. He says he just talked to someone who was listening to the show, gave him a call, and now Chris is going to get him help. Amy, I know sometimes we talk a lot about politics. We may disagree, but life is about this is what the true meaning of life is about. How many people, even people we disagree with, how many of those people can we help? That is, that just sent chills up my arms and stuff, because that's my heart. My heart is to help people, because I know how much I've lost. I know how much I've suffered, and to help people, that's the greatest feeling in the world. And knowing that there's nothing, you're not looking for anything in return, but just to see somebody else's life change, that is the epitome of living life. And I think that's part of the heart that God gave me.
Good for you.
That's how,
and I'm glad that I'm glad that, people are listening to the show and actually taking the advice that we're giving and giving them places to go for help if they have addictions, especially with that. Because it is a thing. Dan always laughs when I say, well, he had a sex addiction. He's like, come on. I'm like, no, people really do have addictions.
Yeah.
And our with these phones, if you have a porn addiction, dear Lord, you don't have to go far.
And we just help somebody. That's amazing.
God bless. All right.
That's the bleeding, as people call me, the bleeding liberal.
The bleeding heart liberal?
It's not bleeding heart.
You're not bleeding heart liberal. I always say I'm a bleeding heart Republican, and people laugh at that. But I think
I'm saying
that
that's
you
what people say about me.
Are a bleeding heart Republican.
Yeah. No, I'm just somebody who's compassionate.
Yes.
I want to see I want to see greatness. I want to see greatness. I love to see greatness. People wake up and they have that aha moment and realize they can be great.
So what was your why when you decided to run?
My why?
Yeah.
We don't.
Because you asked him what his why was.
The reason why I ran, because I did see the state of Illinois, and I wanted to be able to give my voice to it. And what and part of my why and my what was I went down there and I studied the people to understand how to get my why out there in front. I understood that people were suffering. I understood that people needed a better out of their Illinois government. So I didn't come out bombastic. I came back because one of the things, I'm a tactical guy. I believe in learning, finding out who the players, who the movers and shakers. That's why I was on 22 different committees and commissions when I was state representative, and I was able to get to run to produce what I was able to sound like Kamala Harris right there, but to highlight the issues that were happening in the state of Illinois. That's one of the reasons why I was so critical with criminal justice reform, heroin legislation, things that I grew up in and had to deal with. My mother being a drug addict, not knowing my father. These issues not only impact the black community, but it impacts people. And I was able to sit on a lot of these different commissions, gangs, drugs, sit on a lot of these commissions and have a voice for the people who were voiceless. And that's what people are looking for. People are looking for people who see their issue and want to help highlight their issue at a level where they'll never be able to speak. And I think, politics aside, people want authentic leaders who want to get things done.
All right. Very well said, John Anthony. Black and Right Radio, by the way, which you can hear Saturdays here from 4 to 7 p.m.
And my kids were my main why.
Oh, your kids were?
Yeah.
Because you want a better future for them?
I want a better future for them.
All right.
That's why I help build schools right now.
All right. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, We're going to break down his stats now. Steve Trout, the great left-handed pitcher, joins us to talk about politics and his new book. Yeah. But now let's head into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
8:30 on AM 560. The Answer. Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba, one of Ukraine's most recognizable faces on the international stage, has submitted his resignation ahead of an expected major government reshuffle there. Russian strikes, meantime, have killed 7 in the Ukrainian city of Lviv near the Polish border. Vice President Kamala Harris expected to announce an economic proposal today helping small business. The Democrat will be on the campaign trail, however, in the small state of New Hampshire. Leaders of Hamas are being charged with terrorism for the October 7th attack on southern Israel.
These actions will not be our last.
AG Merrick Garland saying the Justice Department has identified the 6 defendants as leaders of Hamas, and the group's political leader is among the 6. Strange and developing story in New York State this morning. A staffer for New York Governors Kathy Hochul and Andrew Cuomo is pleading not guilty after being charged for acting as a Chinese agent.
A $4 million mansion on Long Island, a swanky condo in Hawaii, and a brand new Ferrari, all courtesy of the Chinese Communist Party. That's what Governor Hochul's former deputy chief of staff is accused of accepting in bribes. Now, Linda Sun's history with New York State goes back to 2012 under Governor Andrew Cuomo as Director of Asian American Affairs, then named his Chief Diversity Officer in 2018. In 2021, she became Hochul's deputy chief of staff. Federal authorities say Sun and her husband served as double agents for the CCP, charged with violating the Foreign Agents Registration Act, visa fraud, alien smuggling, and money laundering.
Sun was released on $1.5 million bail. Her attorneys say the couple is innocent. They're due back in court September 25th. A CTA employee is seriously hurt after a drive-by shooting outside of a Northside police station. The man suffered a gunshot wound to the chest and is in serious condition. A Chicago man faces murder charges in a mass execution-style shooting on a CTA Blue Line train in Forest Park. Investigators say Ronnie Davis shot and killed 4 on that train heading into Forest Park early on Monday.
I can't recall any sort of mass killing like this ever occurring. And so, no, I don't necessarily worry about homeless people being killed, but I do worry about homeless people being vulnerable.
CTA President Dorval Carter. 3 of the victims have been ID'd. Adrian Collins, Simeon Bahesi, and Margaret Miller. Davis is due in court today. Cubs lost to the Pirates 5-0. White Sox 9-0 losers to Baltimore. The news, a service of the Del Bacchio Marchetti Group of Properties, Christie's International Real Estate. They're experts in the northwest suburbs and Chicago with over $800 million in sales. Call 708-828-0000. And a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Donald Trump and Kamala Harris will meet on the debate stage for the first time on September 10th. And AM 560 is throwing a debate watch party, and we want you to join us. Join Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson, Sean Thompson, and fellow AM 560 listeners on Tuesday, September 10th at Moretti's Unique Events in Hoffman Estates for a buffet dinner, followed by the debate. Tickets are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/debate. That's 560theanswer.com/debate.
This is David Hochberg with another emergency mortgage update. I repeat, you don't have to refinance with your current mortgage company. Lynn called her current lender, Wells Fargo, to refinance. Bad move. Wells quoted her a rate in the 5s with over $3,500 in discount points. Another bad move. Lynn set up a conference call with me and her Wells loan officer. Turns out Wells Fargo's rate without the discount points was the same as my rate, but my closing costs were $1,000 lower. Don't pay thousands of dollars in discount points and higher closing costs, which is the game Rocket, Wells, and other online lenders play. If you secured a mortgage after March of 2022, call Call Team Hochberg, not your current mortgage company or an online lender, for a free mortgage review. 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. That's 855-563-2843 or 56david.com. Lower.com, equal housing lender, NMLS 1124061.
If you own or run a business and you listen to AM 560, you might not realize that the conservative programming that you enjoy is supported by advertisers. Our loyal listeners love to do business with the advertisers they hear every day on AM 560. Now, it probably won't surprise you that there are some businesses who avoid advertising with us because they don't like what we do here. And that's okay, because our audience wants to support businesses that support what we do and think like we think. We would love to have you join the list of successful companies who are already reaching new, like-minded customers. Most AM 560 advertisers have been here for years for one simple reason: they get results. Join our efforts to make a difference in the lives of our listeners who are passionate about supporting our great family of AM 560 advertisers. To learn more, just visit 560theanswer.com/advertise. That's 560theanswer.com/advertise.
This hourly segment brought to you by Unleash Your Wealth with Raj Shah and Rick Borick this Saturday at 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. Learn more at scwealthadvisors.com.
8:36. Let's check the roads. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time is a service of Discover. Time with family, laughs with friends, and cash back. Well, Discover's got you covered on that last one. It's because Discover doubles all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match at discover.com/credit card. Eden's right now, a half hour, Lake Cook Road into the junction. Accident on the inbound Kennedy at Costner, and right now just about an hour and 50 minutes from O'Hare into the Burns Circle interchange. Inbound Ike, disabled vehicle, left lane blocked. It's right before the Tri-State. You're backing up to York Road. Crash on the Ike near Route 83 on the outbound side has been cleared out of your way. I-55, an accident on the exit ramp to the Veterans Toll Road, I-355. Vehicle fire cleared on the inbound Dan Ryan at 95th. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Sunshine and 84 today. Mainly clear and 65 overnight. Sunny and 62 right now. Next news at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
Rocking and rolling at work today. Where did the time go? Amy Jacobson here, John Anthony, and for Dan Proft.
Yeah.
And what was the last book you read? Or is that cruel to even ask you that?
Never an Inch by Mike Pompeo.
Okay.
And I'm looking to buy the Naked Communist book written in the 50s that Ben Carson alluded to in his book. I want to read that book because it was basically the plan of the communists to take over America. If anybody got it, you can send it to the station.
Okay. Oh, I've had people send me books. I'm reading books about the founders, the authors of the Constitution, and their wives. I have made it through one chapter, but, when you're stressed, it's hard to focus. Yeah. But over the weekend, when I was spending some time with my family, my sisters, and my mother, I got out the book, The Magic Ball, because we had Steve Trout at our golf outing. Oh, yeah. And he gave me a copy. It's not a thick book. It's an easy read. Yeah. It's an easy read. Yes. But I gave this to my mom, and I said, hey, Louise, can you read this and just tell me what you think? I look over, and she is bawling.
Really?
Yes. And then later, because she's a slow reader, because she wants to absorb every word. Later on, that I looked at her again, I was like, you're still crying. She's like, this is such a beautiful book. And again, it's called The Magic Ball, and the author is Steve Trout, who, by the way, Steve, I want you to know that I asked for background information on you. I mean, I know you played for the Cubs and the White Sox, and you're a left-handed pitcher, and your dad also played. But our producer, Quinn McCarthy, gave me all of your stats. Do you want to plow through that first before we get to the book?
Well, first of all, I'm a big admirer of the show, I must tell you.
Oh, well, thank
And,
you.
God bless your mother. I'm so happy she got a chance to read the stories, or one of the stories that meant so much to her. That was the whole meaning of the book. But, yeah, I started with the Chicago White Sox.
Ooh.
And then, of course, I was traded to the north side of Chicago Cubs. When that trade happened, I said, where the heck is Wrigley Field?
No, you're right.
I've never been there before. But playing for the White Sox, I must say, I lost 16 games. A lot of people look at that, but that year I was the 20th best pitcher in the league. So I kind of talk about that in one of my stories about not giving up, about giving it always your best, and no matter what happens, you do your best. And that's what I tried to do every time I took the ball over my 300 starts in the major leagues, 1,500 plus innings. And I loved it. Of course, I'd make a few changes during those times, but being in Chicago and a native of Chicago, South Side, South Holland, what an honor to play for both teams.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how many players have done that?
Oh, Sammy?
Not too many.
Oh, yeah, Sammy Sosa did. That's right. Yeah. And you?
Yeah, but he's not from here. You know,
Right.
he's
Oh,
not
yeah,
South
yeah,
Side.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
He's South Side of Dominican Republic.
I don't. Yeah. Has there ever been another that played for both that was from?
That's I don't think so.
Ooh, that's.
I'm not sure, but maybe one or two.
That's a trivia question.
All right. So how did you?
Told me, but,
Yeah. How did you pair up with Rick Tielander to write the Magic Ball?
Well, as a pitcher, I always needed a little bit of relief, and I had set the stage, so to speak, for the book, and I knew I had some problems just finishing it and making it just right. And I called Rick, and I said, Rick, would you take a look at what I put together, these 3 wonderful stories? And he said, I love the stories, but you definitely need a little relief work.
Okay.
And I was so honored to have him, part of the Sports Writers Hall of Fame, a great writer for the Sun, come in and polish it up. And we turned it into 3 wonderful stories. And without Rick, it would never be the same. And just a great person to have in your covering yourself as a partner. Put it that way.
Yeah, and this isn't your first book. How many have you written?
Well, Home Plate was the first one about my dad and I, and then Loosey Goosey Baseball is about how a father. And I know most fathers are great coaches and they mean good, but sometimes that one person can ruin it for all the kids, or it can ruin it for the other, parents watching the game. And I thought how one parent can put so much anxiety into a kid's performance, and I wrote a story about that, how that changes because the coach notices that he plays differently during practice, and it's because my dad's not watching me and putting pressure on me. And so I wrote a story called Loosey Goosey about that, and how the coach changes the father's perception, or changes him to become much more understanding of how difficult to play baseball really is. Yeah. And just a great story about that.
And what's the percentage of kids that make it from Little League to actually their high school varsity team?
Oh, gee, that's an interesting question. I'm more about, from high school kids that make it to the major leagues that get drafted, or college guys that make it to the major leagues that get drafted, even in what round they are picked. So a high school kid in the first round is about 18 to 22%. A college kid in the first round is around 35 to 45%. So I look at that more than, that was a good question.
Yeah, but I mean, it's rare.
Yeah. Yeah.
They make it. Yeah, I think it is, but make it, into the high school team that's a little different.
Yeah, my cousin played for the Phillies, so I definitely know. He made it. Luke Collier is a good friend of mine. I played baseball with him at CVS. But I got 3 quick things. I know I think I was able to hustle you out $100 at the golf tournament for Tunnels to Tower. So I appreciate you and your group for donating to Tunnels to Tower.
Well, went to a good place because I donate to T2T also.
Second thing, is that your real Facebook profile, Steve Trout, on Facebook?
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah. we've
if
been
you
friends
see
for like. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, of my writing about things, I write about some politics.
Yeah.
But that's just So yes, that's probably me.
Yeah, we've been friends for like 13 years on Facebook. That's crazy.
Well, that's great,
Yeah.
John. Yeah, I'll have to communicate to you a little more that way.
Now, here's the third thing. You ever thought about getting into coaching? We need good quality coaches in the MLB.
Well, there's a lot of people in line for that job. Jody Davis and I coached together. We did a wonderful job. That was in the Canadian Baseball League. It didn't last very long because it was in Canada and it's cold in June and so forth. But I do have a passion for coaching. That's why I put together the Magic Ball. It's three wonderful stories that are related to how a coach is, and even in Loosey Goosey, and looked at it in a positive way, and the parents are as well, except for Mr. Jones and the Loosey Goosey, but he changed it because of a good coach.
Yeah.
Good coaches make such a big difference in a child's life.
Yes, they do.
I mean, you know this more than anybody. You have to be stern and strong, but you have to be positive and understand that each one's a little bit different.
Yeah.
The great Sparky Anderson, you pat him on the butt, some need that, or you kick him in the butt, and some need that too.
Yeah.
And there's a mixture of that.
I'll tell you, when I played baseball at CVS, I was in a world of hurt. My mom was a drug addict at that time. I was bouncing from house to house. And even though we are miles apart politically, my coach, and he knows I always give him his props, Andre Morgan and A.D. Haas over at CVS, and Coach, these were two men that really saw the potential in me. And I'm telling you, a lot of people don't understand the importance of how much, and Amy,
Well, I know.
how
I
much
have
important
5
coaches
people
are.
playing in college, boys and girls.
Yeah.
Because you got to help them out. You have to make
Yeah.
the tapes. You got to make the phone calls. You got to do the work.
Yes.
And that's what.
Well, my nephew in Lawndale has Young Men's Education Network, helping kids get off the street and into the right place in their life. And you talk about John, talk about just giving somebody a little motivation, a little bit of giving them some proper respect and so forth. And pretty soon they start having that for themselves, and you have a changed person.
Yeah, Andre Morgan taught me how to be a man. My coach, he taught me. He taught me that I had value and that I was worthy.
That same with Terry Safone, my or sophomore volleyball coach. She gave us. I mean, she just made you. She's like, you are a child of God. You are worthy. Don't listen to outside negativity. Just believe in yourself. And she just instilled confidence. She taught me how to be confident.
Yeah,
which I will never ever forget.
That's wonderful. I thought Dallas Green did that for me as a baseball person, Dallas, when he came over from the Phillies, and also my pitching coach, Billy Connors. So we all can have someone, maybe it's a grandparent, or maybe it's a neighbor, maybe it's a best friend. They can see the differences, or they can suggest things to you that help you make those changes, and that's good. I like that.
All right, now I've been the Ricketts, Tom Ricketts and Todd Ricketts. I got to know them really well when I served in the General Assembly. They still haven't let me throw out the first ball, but that's not the question. The question is,
that's what you want in your life.
Yes, throw out the first ball. Amy.
I know you're a diehard Cubs.
I helped start the Cubs caucus in Springfield. There was no Cubs caucus in Springfield.
Okay.
Myself and Sarah Feingold, we were the ones that came together, and Kelly Cassidy, we came together and formed the Cubs caucus. My question is, are we getting our hopes up high for this Cubs team? What do you think is going to happen? We were 3.5 games. I think we're 4.5 games now because of the last 2 games we've lost. Are we getting our hopes up too high?
Hope is what we've always put together with the Cubs. We hope they do good. We hope they win the series. I mean, look how funny baseball is. They go to Pittsburgh, they sweep the team. Now they might get swept today. It's just such a funny game. No, I mean, they have the vision. Tom did when he got the team in 2008. We saw the changes. Yeah. I think it's a tough thing to try to predict. But what's going to happen? They have a chance maybe if they can get real hot. But they had a great streak, as we know. Tom Ricketts was dedicated to winning. I think Jed Hoyer is as well. And the players, I think, respect the organization so much that many want to come. I know that the market of Japan is a very interesting market for the Cubs to continue to look for good ball players. Yeah. But that's something that we just we love the Cubs no matter what. That's the beauty of it. Many of us do. You know?
I love Imanaga and Seiya.
Oh yeah.
And what about the White Sox? though? I mean, we watched a game the other day, and there was 17 people there. It was hot, but I mean, maybe 17 that we could see, and maybe there was people up in the suites, right? We can always.
You got a good chance of getting a souvenir ball.
I know it was, but I mean, don't you, as a former player with the White Sox, doesn't it break your heart?
Oh, it does, because the Southside people love their baseball, and they deserve good baseball, and that's a big part of their life. You know, the White Sox. Let's face it. That they're dedicated to that team like the Cub fans are to the Cubs. Yeah, and I'd love to see something change with the ownership, and maybe it's possible the locations are it's a difficult location, but it's more about ownership and what needs to be done to put the players on the field.
You said the Little League teams. I'm sorry, Scott. I'm gonna call out a few people. Scott, Ron, and and Chad. I'm sorry. These are former legislators who just love their White Sox, the Little League team. But I'm so sorry. I love seeing it, but yeah.
So Steve, are you still running camps, baseball camps?
Well, I do a summer camp, and I do some individual coaching. I had a camp in St. John, Indiana. I'll be moved to South Holland next summer. So yeah, I still love to do that kind of coaching. I love young baseball. I love recreational ball. I want to try to take a kid who can't throw to teach him how to throw, and a kid who can't hit, teach him how to hit. I like that. You know, that's what I'm about.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how can we get the magic ball and Loosey Goosey?
Well, Amazon, you type in Steve Trout, and then you'll see that the book is also recommended by the great Bob Costas. 29 Emmys, 12 Olympics that he hosted, and he's put his name on the cover of the book. So I was really proud to have Bob Costas love it so much, and your mom to love it so much, and others to enjoy the three great stories that you'll hold forever.
All right. Thank you so much, Steve Trout. And I'll see you later today, right?
Wonderful. I'm looking forward to it, Amy and John. Thanks so much.
Okay.
Great stories about you, too.
Go Cubs.
God bless. And Steve Trout joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Quick delivery service. What do you need delivered today?
Hi, I'm trying to work through a last-minute to-do list for my boss. Can you deliver a hard drive to the Loop in Chicago?
We can deliver that today.
Okay. Can you deliver 20 boxes to a client in Rockford?
We can deliver that today.
Can you deliver 12 pallets of tile to our customer in Naperville?
We can deliver that today.
Can you deliver a large envelope to Northbrook?
We can deliver that today.
Oh my gosh, I think my water just broke. Can you...
We cannot deliver that.
Quick Delivery Service delivers your package no matter the size. More than just a messenger service, Quick Delivery Service is a messenger and trucking service that can also provide scheduled routes for your daily delivery or your air shipment. Trucks are equipped to handle the load and provide ground-level service for same-day delivery. The Quick Delivery Service team of safe, licensed professionals can provide quick door-to-door service for your special delivery. QuickDelivery.com. That's QuickDelivery.com. We deliver that today. But we don't deliver this.
And paid for by America First Tax Group. Attention, if you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you, but you must call 800-390-6201 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-390-6201. That's 800-390-6201. Again, 800-390-6201.
In theaters now, Reagan returns to office.
We are the greatest country in the world. We have just forgotten it.
You can run from a bully for so long, but after a while, you're going to have to stand up to him.
I am about to start the biggest war of this century.
You told me you wanted to make a difference in this world.
What would you have me do?
I want you to fight!
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Reagan in theaters now. Rated PG-13. May not be suitable for children under 13.
AM 560, The Answer.
Okay, I've been talking about this, how, joy and vibes. The Kamala Harris Walls campaign, that's what they're supposed to be delivering. During that CNN interview that they did with Donna Bash, there was no joy in there. There was no vibes. Like, this is what I want to get behind.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
I agree. At all.
And Don Lemon, who now has started Don Lemon Television, took to the streets, and he's a huge Kamala fan.
Yeah.
So this must have been a very hard pill to swallow without water.
Broke his
for
will
him.
hard.
He what?
Broke his will hard.
How are you feeling about the election?
I'm going for Trump. I feel like every time they don't want somebody who is good for us to win, they throw somebody black in our face thinking that's going to make us vote for the black person.
I voted for Obama because he was black. I don't want to vote for her because she's the first black woman to run for president or to win.
I don't vote.
Well, I want Donald Trump. I'm sorry. I want Donald Trump.
Why do you apologize?
Sorry. Well, I know nobody likes him, but we had good times with Donald Trump.
I'm running for Trump, so.
You are?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why?
Yeah. I don't know. I just always been a fan of his, so that's what I'm running for.
I used to be against Trump. I used to live in Virginia. I saw the bad side of it, but really moving to Cleveland, I saw the other side of it.
I'm supporting Trump.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Because?
Because it has to change.
Yeah.
It has to change, and now I vote more for what fits me better as a person rather than voting for the black person or voting for the first woman. So.
What do you think about Kamala Harris?
I think they say she's phony and fake, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm like Trump saying, what are you, So I'm not feeling her. People get mad about it, I'm just not feeling her.
I don't like her the way she speaks, the giddiness, the laughing. Everything's a joke, and it's not a joke. We're in trouble.
I'm going for Trump. Kamala was on Biden's team, and I don't like Biden. Gas wasn't this high when Trump was our president. Food wasn't this high. I'm going for Trump.
Wow.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line. Harris had, at one point in time, a 48% disapproval rating. And again, she never received one vote in a primary because she dropped out before Iowa caucus, and she was just anointed.
Amy.
Kamala the Queen.
Amy, that's why they quickly took off that moniker they had, democracy on the ballot. When Joe Biden was running,
right,
remember,
everything was about the threat to our
ballot.
democracy. Well, that wasn't sticking.
Well, guess
so
we
then they
could.
changed it to freedom.
Freedom.
Right, your
Enjoy.
freedoms.
Enjoy.
Your freedoms to have abortions in every state.
Yeah.
Your freedoms for, I don't know, because 41 years we've had the highest. This is the highest inflation we've had in 41 years.
Hey, Amy.
And the highest number of illegal immigrants in our country's history. Wow. Lowest personal saving rate in 50 years. Wow. Highest auto loan defaults in 13 years.
Wow.
Should I keep going?
Keep going.
11 embassy evacuations. A divided country. Oh, and what? Look, we're in wars. We weren't. We weren't in wars when Trump was in charge. And Trump reminded people of that yesterday during his interview with the podcaster.
But we had no wars when I was president. We defeated ISIS, but that was a war that was started that we weren't anywhere near defeating. But think of it, I had no wars. And Viktor Orban, the prime minister of Hungary, said the world has to have Trump back because everybody was afraid of Trump. Now, that's what he said. So I'm not using that term, but I think they respected me. But he said China was afraid, Russia was afraid, everybody was afraid. And I don't care what word they use. Probably that's even a better word if you want to know the truth. But let's use the word respect. They had respect for me. They had respect for the country. I mean, I ended the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, the Russian pipeline. Nobody else could have done that. I ended it. It was done. Then Biden comes in and he approved it. So we're defending Germany and these other countries for peanuts compared to what it's worth. And they're paying the person we're defending them against billions and billions of dollars for energy. I said, how does that work? And we had it out with them, and it worked out good, and they paid hundreds of billions of dollars, or you wouldn't even have a NATO right now. You wouldn't have NATO if it wasn't for me.
Real quickly, George Pearson, you dang on right. Go Cubs. I'm sorry.
Okay. Thanks, John Anthony, for filling in for the past few days. Dan Proft will be back tomorrow. Also, excuse me.